Okay, we actually start now, I think. So,
All right.
I mean, people will
Huge.
filter in / watch the VOD, and it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Part of why we do this is because it's fun for us as well. But yeah, I guess maybe quick intros in case like some random person watches this VOD and they're like, "Who the heck are these people?"
You did say to put it on Chief Delphi, so hello, random people on Chief Delphi.
Hi, Chief Delphi.
Oh my god, hi Chief Delphi!
Chief Delphi.
Okay, I guess we'll go down the list in terms of from left to right in the list rankings thing. I'm Brennan. I am the drive coach for Team 4476. I guess the vast majority of well, actually, literally all the people here do fantasy first, which is like nerd fantasy FRC stuff. So we enjoy talking about what teams are good and what teams are the best. And I'm sure we'll disagree on a lot of things, and it'll be entertaining to talk about. And then Evan, I guess.
Oh, okay. Are we going in order
Yeah,
of
we'll go
spreadsheet?
in that
All right.
order of
I'm
spreadsheet.
I'm Evan. I'm from the P&W district. Currently a mentor for Team 997 Spartan Robotics in Oregon. I've done I don't know, kind of bounced around teams over the years, but if you've ever been to an Oregon FRC event, you probably saw me in pinstripes.
Nice. I'm Taegen. I am involved with 4476 in like the strategy department and do fantasy first as well, like everyone else here. I do volunteering in Ontario as well. So if you're Canadian, you've possibly seen me around either as a volunteer or as a mentor. And I am excited to get flamed for my list. Casey, it's you now.
Hey guys, I'm Casey. I'm currently a mentor on Team 2928 here in Seattle in the PNW district, primarily focusing on programming and some scouting. Also do fantasy first along with these fine fellows, and I'm looking forward to bringing spicy picks that apparently everyone else also brought.
And I'm Nick.
It's hard to make a list of 100 people. Sorry, go ahead. I'm so sorry, Nick.
I'm an alumni of Team 4646. At the time, that would have been ASAP from Des Moines, Iowa. And I'm excited to see how this night goes.
Great. Yeah, so what's happened, I guess, is all 5 of us have made our top 100 teams of Crescendo. Whatever that means to each of us, I think maybe we have very slightly different opinions on what that means. But we have 100 teams. We're going to release or reveal them to each other as well, and kind of discuss as they go. And I think we're going to start with our 100 to 91 picks, which we're all going to start putting in now, I guess, and then we'll quickly talk about them and see.
Or am I not gonna do them one at a time? Like each person does 10 at once, or you do 10 and I do 10? Yeah.
Let's do them all at once, I think.
All right, and then we'll see who's thinks everyone else is insane.
Who's
All
bad?
right, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
To clarify, it's equals team. There we go. Okay,
Yep.
I got it. It pops up as a function. Sick. Oh, shoot. Got lost.
It's going to take a little bit to type out all these.
I
That's
told you, we
okay.
need to hire Seb as like our secretary or something.
That would take longer because then one person would be doing.
No, but we
5
could have
people.
given him all of our lists, and then he could have like just like unblacked out
Oh,
the
and
thingies
paste.
or whatever.
I see that. I see
Right.
what you're saying.
Oh. I'm having a hard time here. This is fine.
I'm winning the race.
Proud of you. Yeah, but you have more 3-digit team numbers. It's not fair.
So true. I think I might be in the wrong cell. This is not going well.
Oh,
Wait,
Brennan, we have
I
two that are
messed
very
up.
close to each other.
I missed a team.
Oh, Oops.
Can I
You
copy
suck.
and paste them? Or
No, because you
You
do
can
the
copy and paste
function.
it. Well, you can copy and paste the team, all the functions.
yeah,
So all the ones that you missed, you can
I forgot.
copy
I
and
just
paste.
forgot one.
Alrighty. I'm seeing some Oregon representation on other people's list.
So we're not doing 90th. Okay, sounds good.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I forgot them. This is bad.
Oops.
I
I forgot a team. No,
Well-
I should have had them on my list. Oh
Well,
Whoa. Wow, some of these are bold, I think, already.
some of these, I mean, some of them I understand, but some of them I don't. So that's, I guess, how it's expected to be.
just forgot someone too. Now I'm depressed. That's fine.
Well,
All right,
we
stream
can
see
put
them
in
all now.
honorable mentions later by
Oh shoot, I
accidentally
forgot
forgotten.
here. Let's go.
Yep, it's okay. I had someone I forgot that was in like everyone else's top 5 last time we did this. So
Yeah.
Remember last time I did this and I put Barker 4th overall after people like didn't have them on their list? Good times.
Man.
well, I think that's okay. All right. So, who wants to defend their weird picks? I'm not sure.
Do we want to defend or do
I
we
mean,
want to
bro,
attack first?
Taegen has
Sure.
40, 39, and Bumblebee in their
I
down
think
here. That's
it's
ridiculous.
This is 40-39. Do not call me out like this.
I think both those are quite low.
Yeah.
I think that could be very true. I just
There are
maybe
also
got,
teams
like
that people put down. Oh,
I
sorry.
was just gonna say like maybe like you watch a match and it's like, oh, it's like a bad match.
I mean,
or
Nick
whatever.
also has 40, 39. There's a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm saying. You
Yeah,
can't
same
synergy. Yeah.
spot.
call Nick out. That'd be
Yeah.
unfair.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I think Bumblebee is the one that's like that one seems really low for me.
Yeah, I think
There's also a couple
Bumblebee
teams
is
on here
the
that
one that
I think is
jumps
too
out
low.
as should be higher up this list. Does
Uh-huh.
anyone want to call out one that maybe is a little on the side of shouldn't be anywhere
low.
close to this top 100 on and should be way
I don't know.
lower?
I'm not sure I get 179 in the top 100. They just did not perform to the usual standard this year.
I mean, yeah, that's why I had them 98. Casey has 100. They're
Yeah.
just like one of those teams that are like really good usually, and maybe just barely squeak in depending on how you look at things.
There's also teams on here that I ranked pretty darn high, but I think I expected other people to rank lower than me. So maybe we'll get there eventually.
I think. Am I the only team that has a team on that made Einstein this low? With 50.
I mean, I teams that made Einstein not on my list.
Okay, well,
but,
you know what I mean, but
yeah.
I think that's the only Einstein team I see. Actually, 2.
Yeah, 78 as well. True.
Yeah.
But,
both New England.
Yep.
I don't have anyone. I see Taegen and I both put a team that did not attend Worlds, 7769.
Yeah. I didn't really know how to get a read on them, but I figured like that's about fair. Like if they had attended Worlds, they probably would have like made Alims, made it through a couple rounds. But it's harder to read because you're also playing with other people, which helps elevate you in some aspects. But that's kind of, I feel like, they're on the list, but it hurt them a little bit, I think, not to be at champs for the list.
As the Oregon person, I feel like I have to say CERT was better than Aimbot this year.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, these are just my feelings, okay?
I like the AG Robotic 6459 shoutout. They're kind of
Give me some turkey.
Yeah, they're kind of an underrated team for sure last year.
They're in my bubble team, actually. They're in my like. So when I did this, I basically broke it down into like top 10, 25, 50, 100, and sorted within. And they're one of the ones that's in my like 100 plus tier, like for consideration, just didn't squeak through. So I like that this list is already like a little international. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so I may have forgotten about 2200.
Oops. Well, that's okay. I don't see anyone that I definitely didn't think about. Actually, it's not true, but I see a team that I probably wouldn't I didn't think about, but I don't think I would have
I
put
did
in.
not think about 841.
I didn't either. I also didn't think about 2659.
Who is
Yeah, nor did
841? Who am I? Am I blind?
Biomix. I mean, they were good this year. They definitely were. Did they attend Worlds?
I don't know,
No.
actually.
I do not
Casey
remember.
hasn't.
They didn't play in Olymps. I know that.
They did
Okay.
not,
They did not
because
attend Worlds.
I watched their match from East Bay.
Ah,
Mhm.
I feel
Yeah.
like Nick and Taegen have a lot of teams that I have a lot higher. So far.
Yeah, I feel
yes,
like in
a few.
terms of these lists, Taken and mine are pretty similar.
Yeah. I mean, you both got makeshift
Yeah,
at
you
91.
had two people
yeah.
and Torch at 95.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
And
Nick
CIS.
and
Oh, no, that's.
you guys are just all overridden by majority vote by Nick and I.
We'll see how that affects this top
Yeah.
of the list. So we have 43 unique teams through
I
this.
guess we can scroll up right now. Number 1 overall
Sure.
team for the time being, It Can Robotics.
I'm curious to
I'm-
see if people rated It Can Junior over It Can, or if I'm the only person that has It Can Junior. Well, I guess Casey could have them both later, and Nick.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see if It Can Junior gets some shout outs later.
Yeah,
That
It Can
we
Junior
will see.
obviously. They made it further than It Can did in.
Yes.
They did.
They
were
yes.
finalists.
Mhm. Mostly like a defensive role.
Yes.
Defensive commercial passer role.
And for me, that kind of.
They were the captain.
They were the captain. For me,
Yes.
that still bumped them down a lot just because they weren't. They weren't putting up a huge amount of numbers. They were playing good like defense.
Right.
But.
So you're just a defense hater. Understood. Got it. Have a nice day.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I am.
I'll spoil my list. I didn't put It Can Junior on my list either.
Nor did I.
I looked at them. I thought about it. I just watching them both next to each other. They were better at passing, and they played more like shooting.
It is not better than Junior. I'm just saying it's interesting to see if
Mm-hmm.
Junior makes other people's lists.
It's also also crazy. Tagen's got It Can Junior above the number 1 seed of that division, 2200 as well. So
And
I have mixed feelings about that division. Okay.
Unsurprisingly, considering you were the.
I remembered to put 2200 on my list. Okay.
Fair and reasonable.
All right. Any other thoughts before we go to our next 10? All right. Let's do our next 10. 90 to 81 here.
This is like hard work.
It is, yeah.
What, typing?
A little bit, honestly.
Oh, same here, Cobb. Look at this.
Ooh.
I keep forgetting how terrible the colors of some of these are. I should have upgraded the color palette. Who's in it?
I'm seeing a lot of similarities in this section, Brennan.
Yeah. There's a couple already with yours that I disagree with fairly strongly, but the rest of them are generally pretty similar. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, there's some spicy ones. There's some spicy ones.
One pick that someone has on their list in this range is my number 20.
Do I have anyone that high? I don't.
I might have some.
I definitely have some high
50.
picks, but I definitely have a couple top 40s, at least one top 30.
Oh no, I've got a top 15 in one of these lists.
I don't see anyone that high for me.
So I mean, to me, a big outlier here is Link. I think they're
Yeah,
criminally underrated here at 81.
I
I was gonna
agree.
say,
I have them much higher.
to
Same
me, a
thing
big
with
standout is
2468.
Yeah,
appreciate.
appreciate as
Yeah,
well.
One of the best passers I thought this year, especially in limbs
And
at Worlds.
1731, to be honest, I think.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
were pretty darn good. Let's see.
I think Cobb, you and I kind of generally are sort of on the same page here with a lot of our teams.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a couple teams there that I don't have on my list, and a couple teams there that I have much higher. But overall, similar-ish.
Interesting that a lot of you guys have. I'm gonna 35, 38 on your list. I thought about them. For me, they didn't quite make it with like reliability issues. What did you guys like about them to be on the top 100? I guess.
Yeah, I
like
was
them when
pretty
they didn't
borderline considering
reliability.
I put them right at 100.
Right.
I liked them when they didn't have reliability issues. Like I liked the robot, and I think it was. It's just like unfortunate in the amount of times that it didn't work. But I quite liked the robot itself.
Okay, just
Hey.
so just for talking point's sake, I'm gonna insert the next team on my list. Just so we can
Oh my
continue this
god.
conversation
Yeah,
with more
I don't have
information.
them on my list. So I'm the only one that doesn't. I'm the only one that doesn't.
Guess not.
Uh,
I
No,
mean, I
Nick
definitely
doesn't.
put a little.
Brennan
He does. JK. I lied.
Brennan looked at EPA the least out of everyone here, probably.
I
I mean,
yeah,
didn't
that's
that's
look
probably
at it
true.
until
probably
I
a little bit
finished my
true.
list. I looked at EPA after I finished my list to make sure I didn't miss anyone, and then made like 2 changes because there's a team. There was like a team that I forgot to put on my list.
Right.
I probably forgot some teams, but I did not
That's
look at
basically
EPA
what
at
I
all.
did.
It's already discussed. Yes.
Yeah.
But
And then
that's
I
okay.
imported it, so I have a color graph to see. I have like a graph with some like my team where I ranked them and where the EPA was. And there's a correlation, and then there's some extreme outliers on my list
Right.
with the EPA. We'll get there
Congratulations to
eventually.
RoboJackets for taking the overall rank #1 as of this exact moment.
I will scroll up. Wild Stang number 2.
I am interested. I assume Wild Stang is being evaluated like end of season, post rebuild stuff.
I evaluated everyone in
Okay.
terms of their last event almost exclusively.
I did. I put a little bit more weight on champs. Well, a lot more weight on champs. To be honest, I mostly looked at champs' performances. Part of the reason was because I felt like a lot of the really good teams at champs had off seasons that were not good, I guess.
When I say
include
recent event, I'm
off-season
only
pretty
counting
much.
real events.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm only counting
Yeah.
real events,
Real events,
not
yeah.
off season at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't really
did
care about how you.
factor the major off seasons, the Chezzies, the IRIs, a little bit into
Right.
mine.
Yeah, I did too as
Yeah.
well.
I avoided it just because I didn't know about like. I avoided it if it was a huge outlier from champs. Like it was like, oh, they got a new drive team or something. But otherwise, like, would
I
consider
didn't
it.
include it at all.
So
Neat.
any ones that seem like low, high?
Lots of P&W love from Taegen, and as a P&W enthusiast,
Yeah.
I don't think all of it's warranted.
I love P&W.
That's
I think
good.
this
You
is
should.
like most of my P&W,
Yeah,
to be
you have
fair.
like well, we can tell all the good
There
teams
should
here.
be at least a couple more, but yeah.
I said most,
Yeah.
not all.
Yeah. Right.
The one that stands out to me is Fresta. Probably
I
should be
probably
waiting
have
a
them
while
bit
to say
low,
their name.
but
Yeah, I agree.
I think part of that was I was like, oh well, region strength, not like they look very strong in their region, and I didn't watch a ton of
Translation,
matches.
CHS bad. Translation,
CHS
Chesapeake
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, and
Well,
I
what's the
put bare
point?
metal so low because I was just disappointed about DCMP, to be honest.
They weren't as good at Worlds, I felt, as they had been at that time.
They did have
Like,
some.
I mean, they were pretty good.
They had some
like,
reliability issues for sure, as well.
Mhm.
Like their intake
But I
broke
was-
a few times.
They
but like PW champs, like it was It was
Yeah, but wasn't their last event,
That
so.
was
yeah, and
that
then
was
they
also
were much
strategy error.
better, right? With champs, they didn't like pop off the way they should have. So
I mean, I
I
think they
penalized
did, to
them.
be honest. Like,
They did in
they were
elims.
eighth seed,
Mm,
and then like went
okay.
far, went deep.
Yeah, I think they made the
Yeah.
match 13,
So
Yeah, they were third, I think. Yeah.
but
yeah. So
uh,
I've seen all season bare metal has had some consistency issues, especially around speaker shots. But to be
Right.
honest, I think they account for that by being so fast. The
Right.
time between they stop and when they shoot is like maybe a quarter of a second, maybe half a second on average.
pretty good auto
And
line
like
for their
and a missed shot can be refired again. So like, you know, I think that
yeah,
helps make up for that consistency issue.
they have
Also,
pretty good auto line on their passing as well, which is
yeah.
not a thing a lot of teams have.
That's fair.
Also,
Well, they're here now.
1987, the highest non-champs team so far on anybody's list, I think.
Well,
True.
it's
I
the
mean,
highest
yes.
So
revealed.
far,
Yes, yeah,
yes.
but
Yeah.
like that's pretty. I mean, I thought about them as well, but I didn't have them on my top 100.
That's one of the
Yeah.
teams I did not think to look at, but I don't feel too bad about not putting them on my list. Like it doesn't feel like an obvious move to
Yeah.
leave them off. One thing actually,
I thought their
I want
auto
to bring
stood
up.
out, to be honest.
Right.
At least among teams within this range.
I want to
That's what
bring up
helped.
Greybots.
Yeah, that's also an
Them
interesting
making
one.
the top 100 surprises me. They definitely had an off season for them, especially based on how good they've been over the last couple of years. I think they ended up second the last time we did this in 2020, 2021. But
Yeah.
I just didn't
So
see enough offensive contribution to warrant putting them here.
so my liability here is I only watched about 1 to 2 matches of each team.
Right.
So I think Greybots might have benefited from the match I watched of them. But I found their passing game, once they were dialed in, to be really fast, surprisingly fast.
Right.
Their intake was really strong, so they were able to do these back and forth, you know, just like any other midfield passer does. And they were just faster than a lot of other teams that I think you would expect to be higher on the list. And in a game where that role could be so powerful at champs, like that weighed them higher on me.
I'm just having doubts. Like I look at this now and I feel bad about my list, but it's fine.
That's
Everything's
okay.
fine.
That is okay. Nobody's gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
It's okay. Half my picks have been questioned this round already.
This is fair.
Cobb and I have been kind of just cruising through. Nobody's like, "Oh my god, what the heck?"
Okay. You asked for
Yeah,
it, I'll
someone
call
was-
you out.
Yeah.
What dropped Walton 2974 down your list?
Their limbs performance at champs was not good.
That's fair.
Like it was
they
like not
bad enough they switched to
like
defense in match two.
literally their limbs performance was not top 100 in the world. The only reason they're on this list is because they were good before.
Were good.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, they had their offense was weak enough in the beginning of limbs that I think by match 2 or 3 they swapped to basically full defense.
Playing defense, yeah.
Which yeah,
And it
I
was
mean
good
I have them
defense
higher
either.
than this, but it was unfortunate their limbs performance at Worlds, but I mean I think I don't know. I think I put a little bit more into peak capability than compared to consistency than some people in this list probably would.
Right.
For
and
me
I think
too.
at their peak they're quite good.
For me too, their region is not as strong as some of the other teams, and I felt like they didn't have as much competition heading into champs, and then their champs performance, especially in Elims, was more to be desired. I thought I had
They were
higher
world record.
expectations.
There were world record holders briefly this
Oh
season.
my God, please,
Even if you don't count the troll match, they had the world record. It was like the
sure,
match.
but
Yeah,
like, I mean, sure.
I think
they were good. I'm saying they were good at times.
I mean, they're top 100. They got to be good, but yeah. I was hoping for more from them in champs, I think. Which dropped them down a little bit lower than maybe where I would have had them heading into champs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. I still think you have them too low, but that's fine.
I would like to say something. In my preliminary list, totally accidentally, I had Team 88 rank 88, but they ended up being ranked 87 tragically in my final list.
Oh, no.
Disappointing to me as
It's
well.
disappointing.
Yeah.
All right, I think we do our next
we
chunk
soldier
here.
on.
Round. All right. Oh, only have
Gotta
9
figure
to
out where
do
the heck
now.
I am. Some more parity with Cobb here. Guess I should be entering them in the other things so that people. There we go.
I keep looking at this, and now I keep thinking about how much P&W put on here. I
A lot.
swear. I swear I'm not just
You're
a
just
P&W
a PNW
fan.
fan.
Yeah, there's really 3 PNW people in this. Okay. In this group.
Wow, lots of link. Lots 80, 13. That is wild. That is wild.
High or low?
Very low.
Okay. Good. I'm gonna say I hope you're not gonna play me even harder later.
Yeah, I was being like, wow, what? Tell me what your feelings. There seems to be a bit more. I mean, we've got Link, obviously, lots of Link, but like 5460 was a little bit common. I got Cobb and I both thinking about that.
Yeah.
Scream Jr. has made an appearance.
Yep.
353 is
Oh.
now on a couple lists.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm glad I'm not the only person that put
Totally fine.
1391 on my list because I thought they
Yeah,
were pretty good.
their
Pretty
team,
underrated.
Their team is super underrated for sure.
Yeah, I put them at 89, so lower than you, but I did think that there was a good chance that they wouldn't be on anyone else's list. So I'm glad that they made at least someone else's.
Wait, who? Sorry.
1391.
Yeah, they were a very good passer.
Seems 4 of us have very similar feelings about 5895.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
right around
Yeah.
this range for sure.
I think same thing with 3. I see the 3 people who did not team up with Nemesis on Einstein put them in the same area.
Huh. Interesting.
You know,
I wonder.
I think one of the things I probably would have put Nemesis around here before looking at the numbers and stuff, but for me, well, yeah, I feel like they deserve to be a bit higher than this based on what they were doing. They were just very consistent, very flexible in all roles.
I tried so hard not to like let bias influence what I did, but at the same time, it is like very. It's tricky not to some extent as well.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I also tried really hard to avoid bias, which may have resulted in fewer PNW teams being on my list than maybe deserve. But
Yeah,
you know, I
Yeah, I
haven't had
definitely think
anyone yet.
Ontario
So.
for that reason.
we got a
To be honest.
133. Spoiler: I do not have them on my list.
I do not either.
133 was just outside my 100.
Yeah,
They
133
made
was off my top 100 as well.
They're on like my 50 or so that I didn't put on my list that I at least looked at.
Okay. 353 is one of those for me.
Yeah, I think has everyone else said 353 yet? Or
They're
Nick
on my
hasn't
list,
yet?
yeah.
353 is still to come on my list.
Interesting.
Oh,
Alright.
okay. Damn.
I mean, very good looking TVA page.
You know,
this year.
The one that's standing out to me still is Link. I think Link is still ridiculously underrated by
No, I agree.
all
I have,
three of the
yeah.
people who have put them on the list so far. They are just
I,
insane passers,
hmm
which is hilarious because they have like the simplest, most chill robot that like doesn't look like anything, and like to be honest, I super underrated them too, even heading into champs. But like after watching their champs performance, I'm like, dang, these guys are putting up numbers. It's wild. And 80-13, that's way too low. 73.
I found 8013's shooting speed to not be on par with a lot of the other teams I have above them.
I do
I
agree
don't.
with that, Casey.
I mean,
do
Just
think
tell them
it's-
to shoot faster.
Here's the thing, though. They
It's
still put up
the
3 to 4.
mechanism of the robot.
They still put 3 to 4, and lots of teams don't do that. Like they put up more numbers in the
In
10-second
auto?
thing. Not in auto. I'm talking
in
about
per
like
amp
per
period.
amp cycle.
Oh, during Amplify.
Like, yeah, they look slow, but they're putting up the notes every time, which is what matters ultimately.
Yeah, to be honest, almost every cleanup bot that I looked at that ended up on my list, I think could reliably hit 3 or more.
Yeah, I think all of them are. I just
think
feel like
8013 was close to that range for me, which is why
I felt like when I was watching them, at least they were hitting 4 pretty much every time.
Maybe it's just a matter of which match I watched.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Come to
kind of how
realize
it is.
that I have
None of
team
us
twice
like
on my
every
list.
Yeah.
every team.
It's actually worth me
well-
pointing out as well that I watched very few Elim matches for any team because I wanted to get as even of a comparison as possible.
Right. I definitely focused
which-
more on Alims.
And
did
it's
as
totally
well.
fair too, because Elam's performance can say a lot about a team at their best, potentially.
Mhm.
But yeah, that might also have lowered them on my list.
Another.
All right, I'm gonna call out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna call it Super Duper. I feel like they're low on a couple people's lists.
Yeah, I also have them.
I
Well, at
have
least
them
you
on
had them on the list, Taegen.
I have them on the list.
Mhm.
The Indiana alum has the Indiana team at 76.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought you guys were going to say that's kind of high. They Super Duper, I think, was the strongest Indiana team at champs.
Yeah, I agree.
And throughout the season before champs, they had a lot of consistency issues. They had a couple still at champs. To me, most notably, they just had a lot of amp or speaker cycles where they had to take a couple extra seconds to do it due to like whatever the robot was doing. So that lowered me on the list compared to say like 195.
Yeah, that's another one that I thought
is
actually
lower.
I don't have 195. Spoiler alert on my list.
I don't either.
Me neither.
Reliability wise, they were not it for me. Which that one surprised
I don't think
me
their peak
actually.
made up for their
Yeah.
liability issues, but some teams did enough for them to make the list, but their peak wasn't high enough. I don't think.
I guess
Cool.
another one that I'll call out is Scream Jr. I thought a little bit potentially underrated here in this chunk.
Yeah, 3 people put Scream Junior in this chunk.
True.
They
feel
did
like,
bring their alliance to finals, and that
They were extremely
division
strong
Johnson.
at cleaning. Very
Mhm.
strong.
Yeah, I have. Well, I guess I just say they're not the only team on their alliance I have on this list. So
I
we'll
can't even
get
remember
to-
who was on the alliance. Maybe that's true for me. I don't know.
So current number 1 team, Beak Squad.
wow.
I'll also call out. I think only one person I think has put Tool Cats on yet so far, but I do think
I
it's a
did.
little
I've got them
low.
at 71.
Yeah, I agree. It's low.
Yeah,
With 3276, my problem was they were so good in their matches
But they lost.
in Alims,
Yeah.
and then but it's also only 2 matches, whereas a lot of these ones
love
went
their,
a lot
like-
deeper into Alims. But I love Tool Cats. Do not get me wrong. I
I
love Tool
love
Cats.
their front shooter. It's just
Yeah.
so fast at cleaning up with their front shooter.
Yeah.
Like such a great
Yeah.
idea.
No, I love them. Don't get me wrong. I have loved them since 2018. But
I didn't know who they were in
I
2018.
think we know that already.
Yeah. Well, not everybody does though.
no,
I guess.
that's a piece of 2018 Taegen lore. But I just because of the lack of matches at that high level, I like tried to like balance that out a bit.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, should we move on to our next 10?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Oops.
Oh. I probably should have had them on my list. Oops.
Who are you for who?
1787.
They were really good in limbs.
Yeah, they were.
Their passing was that was the other team. They were on Stream Juniors Alliance. They were the
Yep.
other team I had.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, I'm missing so many teams. This is not good.
Oops. All right, I'm the first one to do it. Boom. Waffles.
Oh.
Huge. Wait, I lost track of where I am on my list. There we go.
I'm
Shoot. Oh, there we go.
well. I'm now the only person not to have any PW on their list.
Yeah, I got 2 of them in.
There we go.
Oh, scroll up for stream here.
Looks like I tied you for first, Waffles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Coming in
true.
P63.
Wait a second. Okay, am I the person that has 7028 lowest on their list? Because that seems wrong.
No, I
No,
have
Brennan
them.
does.
And then, or
Oh,
highest,
okay.
you mean?
No,
Somebody
lowest.
else had them already.
No,
Nick.
Nick has them
Taegen
in
has them high.
Nick
82.
has them lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought I was their biggest fan. I guess Tagen's actually a bigger fan. But
Well, technically, Casey could still come in as a bigger fan.
that's true.
He's
Probably
either
will.
a bigger fan or the biggest hater.
That's true.
There's no in between.
So I may have also forgotten about Wyndham Windup.
Oops.
Oops. Are you okay?
Oops.
Okay, E-Man's requesting Nick talk about 2357. They're on your list.
2357 System Meltdown, the Kansas City area team
Oh, yeah, they're
that
on Nick's
really popped off this past year. I think they were like a top 3 alliance captain at Worlds,
were,
if I
yeah.
remember right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
Isn't E-Man on
He
2357?
is. Yeah, that's why he's asking.
Okay.
Presume-
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, Waffles over Boston Lions is why. I'll take that in some ways. Waffles a little low, I think, but Boston Lions very low.
Boston Lions lacked versatility, I thought, in some way, and I didn't think they were that much better than a lot of other like. I don't know. I have them next to in a lineup because I thought they were very similar in terms of their like
Yeah.
cleanup ability and like close range, not the fastest but pretty consistent cleanup bot type deal.
Lots of 1261. Like to see it. I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
I was worried when Nick had them at 99 that
Yeah.
like no one else had
I
them on
thought
the
they
list
were
at
really
all.
good. Like,
They were really good.
yeah. Super underrated team from a region that's not like super well represented in the top teams
Yeah.
that are
Definitely.
considered. Yeah,
They
high
won't be on my list,
high
but that's okay.
3015 from Taegen.
You
High
think high?
4499 as well, actually.
Yeah, I was looking at that and realizing that I think part of it was just
Yeah.
like had rough alliances, didn't get to
Yeah,
show
well-
what they were necessarily capable of doing at champs.
They did have some like reliability issues in Alum
Yeah.
specifically. They were broken or something in 2 of the matches.
Okay, I'm a
Their peaks
44.99
were good, though.
believer.
Their peaks were good. For 3015, I meant. 44.99, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Chun believer.
I'm just looking through the list.
Robovikes are a team that I very heavily considered putting on my list. but I've seen quite a few
I
people.
was,
I
Two,
have them at
I was happy
74.
with them when I
three
watched
people
them.
put them. Yeah, they were quite a good passer, and they really
Yeah.
helped round out that alliance.
For sure.
But I just couldn't. They were like definitely in the 10, almost like 10 most closest teams to making the list that didn't for me.
Right.
Okay, I'll call out 103 from Casey. I didn't even think to look at them. Why are they this high?
Auto and passing, man.
They are
Oh, their
good.
EPA is good.
They are on my
Or
list.
does anyone
Spoiler
else
alert.
still
Yeah.
have them to
Yep.
go?
Yep.
I have them
I
in, like close but not making it tier.
I watched 2 or 3 matches of them, and maybe they were the wrong matches, but they did not look that impressive. I mean, they had a very high like OPR or whatever, so I'm like, okay, I have to watch some, and they started near the bottom of my list, and I started probably like maybe 75 on my list, and the more matches I watched, the farther I moved them down. So maybe I chose the wrong matches, but they were not impressive in the ones I watched.
In the matches I saw them, very good auto, very good passing, very good coming back to shoot at smart times. They're further
Yeah,
up
they
my
were
list.
really reliable to add one speaker per amplify. And they didn't waste much time from the matches I saw.
I'll also call out 1114 here for Casey at 69. That is too
It is
low.
very fair to say that if you weren't watching Champs of Limbs, which is what he said he wasn't doing, right? Like that's when they were.
I was not.
I
That's
feel
when
like
they were
even
by far
in
the strongest. Yeah, but that's when they were the strongest, right? Like you can have them in or lower, like they were by far lower. Like, I mean, Limbs was their best. So if you weren't watching that, like you didn't actually get the best of 1114.
1261 is now our #1 team, by the way.
Crazy, huge. Congratulations, 1261.
Earned.
Yep, and like I said, Waffles I think is a bit low, but I think it's
I see
close to
a
the
couple of
range.
us. A couple of us went with 2054 in this range.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a pretty like potentially controversial. They had a very strange robot.
I
Yeah.
They did
love
have a
their
strange
robot.
robot.
I love their
Very
robot.
I'm pro
rectangular for some.
2054.
What I found watching them was that I couldn't believe someone could drive such a strange shaped drivetrain so
So well.
smoothly through
Yeah.
all the traffic. And
Yeah.
they were driving through lots of traffic. And additionally, their shape didn't hurt them for any like intake locations aside from like right along the subwoofer. Occasionally, they
Right.
had trouble picking up notes there, but they could like swing their entire robot around a pillar of the stage and just like take a note out of there, and that surprised me a lot.
May I ask why everyone has 353 decently high? Because they were just
I
a
didn't.
reliable, decent team.
They're very consistent at being pretty good, and that's good enough to rank second or third or whatever. Captain Alliance 2 to division finals. I mean,
yeah.
like you can't be bad and do that. Like they were just consistent and pretty good.
I felt like
So
their
they
peaks.
didn't have a lot.
They didn't have a high peak, is what I would say,
Yeah,
but they were
I
very
agree.
They were quite
consistently like
consistent. Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Mm.
Didn't break
I
down.
do
Didn't
not
have
have them on
issues.
my list, but I did look at them.
And yes, list
I
will
also
be posted later.
I also kind of docked them, and maybe that was unfair of me, but like for being a robot design that was like not like for being close to the Quokka's design. Like I personally, I don't want to say I took that personally, but like I did consider that as like, okay, the design was not entirely novel, which maybe was unfair of me, but whatever. Live, laugh, love.
Okay. Any other thoughts of this clump before we do get to our just outside our top 50?
Eastbots. That's an interesting one.
Oh yeah, where are they? Who put them
I
there?
Nick's
have
list
them at my
68.
68.
Oh yeah.
What about Westbots?
I'm not
Thanks.
sure. I
That's a
know who
really
that
creative
is.
original joke. I do my best.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're here.
Yep. I'm here for jokes.
Alrighty. Next 10.
Okay, Brennan might yell at me for that one, but that's okay.
Oh, he's still
Yeah,
gonna yell at you.
You'll see.
Okay. All right, guys, it's finally happening. A P&W team is making my list.
Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you.
It happened.
Meanwhile, I'm about to add like my next P&W team of the like
12
several.
billion.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another P&W team. Chill out this low. Okay, you're gonna have to explain your stuff. If you're a P&W lover and you chill out that low, oh boy.
The problem is they're all like once they get good, it's hard to separate goodness levels. You know what I mean?
If they're better than just good.
Okay, and oh shoot. Wait, where am I in
I
my
was
list?
very impressed, but chill
Oh
out.
no, I missed someone. Shoot. Oh. I lied. Okay. I missed one that
Wow, 6081 is really high on your list, Brennan.
I think I probably
They're
have these
good.
listed low, but whatever.
Simple, nice robot.
Definitely, I mean, they definitely helped bring an offensive force from the back of the second round to that 4-seed alliance on their division. A division that had an alliance captain that was mostly defensive, making it to finals. You need to have a good offensive bottom of backswing there.
I would say your picks here are all the high ceiling, bad reliability picks for this clump.
Evan,
Me?
yeah, I would
Yeah,
agree
No,
with
that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I put teams that I think are similar in quality and also shape pretty close together. Typically, that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, a lot of these teams were like that. Basically, almost all of them actually.
Last
Chat's.
call out Taegen here with 973.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's even
gave
higher. Yeah, we were giving
someone crap earlier,
yeah.
Casey crap earlier for
I
that.
knew as soon as you guys said that, I'm like, ooh, oh yeah.
I'll also call out Taegen on 2481 going the other way.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
I mean,
Two people
below
had
outliers is interesting because they were picked earlier.
I know that they were picked earlier, but I like on the list had them in the way that I've like put them in terms of
that's
personal
fair.
preference. But like close. Not saying they're not close, but 2481 had a couple issues.
Yeah, gray is just regionals. We only have colors for the districts.
Yeah.
And then 2974 like got talked about a little bit earlier as well. But like this is kind of where I think is fair. Like I nerfed them for their champs performance, but like I think they were really freaking good.
I feel like
So.
some of these teams are just a little bit underrated here with their actual numbers. If you look at their numbers and how good they were, teams like 6672, teams like
I feel like 6672 is low. I think you have 40. Both of you have 4635 too low as well. They were insane.
They
they just
were
broke.
not
That's the
insane
problem.
in
Okay,
playoffs
when they
and
broke,
also
they
the
were
last couple rounds
insane,
of
but
quals.
like
I just
They
have
had
to.
really big trouble shooting and even collecting like
well,
later
yeah,
in the
because
day.
their intake was completely broken. So then yes, they
Right, but
cannot
their
collect.
shooter stopped working even before their intake broke. Like they were missing shots low very consistently near the
Yeah.
end of day 2 or
Yeah.
day 3. Just on day 3, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have them above waffles. Like what?
Their
True.
peak was quite a bit better.
Yes.
And Waffles wasn't
The thing is, they're
necessarily
auto.
the pinnacle of consistency either. Although it was
In
kind of in the
limbs,
different order.
I would say. But
In the
yeah.
limbs they were better, but they definitely had some serious consistency issues during
Yes,
quals.
during quals was terrible.
Oh, waffles? Us? Yes.
And 148, somebody's saying 148 is too low. I think that's plenty fine, to be honest. They were not very consistent throughout everything, pretty much. Even in limbs, they had multiple matches where they were just like not able to score / dead for like 30-40 seconds. So personally, I think
I
them.
mean, you already had 148, so
Yeah, I know. I'm just reading chat. They're saying 148's too low. Too low.
oh well, damn.
And Evan and I put bare metal up into #1 currently.
Yeah, right.
At bare metal, just yeah. I
You
think that's just a
you
little
don't
bit
have
too
them
high.
at all, do you?
I do. They're at 65th for
He has him
me.
at 65.
Oh, okay. I'm blind. That's fine.
They're just
I
not reliable enough for me / not strategically sound enough.
Yeah, I will say that Evan has them above Cert, and Cert is higher on my list, and it also was on Brennan's. I see.
They're
Yeah,
close though
Cert
on
was
both our
good.
lists.
Cert was good.
Yeah,
Just yeah, they broke when it mattered.
that's true. Their whole line's broken. It mattered.
Yeah, I mean the 7 seed would have been formidable at full strength. I think it's safe to say.
Definitely.
Yeah, so if we scroll up to the top, we have Bare Metal, and then Bot Busters, and then Blazing Bulldogs is our current top 3.
I'm glad that people felt, because I didn't really know what to do with 581. I'm glad that other people felt that this was like their zone.
They're another team. Like they were kind of like decent-ish at everything, but not great at any one role, is what I felt. And then they also had some reliability problems in Alums specifically as well. I know people will hype them up because, you know, they did well / they play in California, so people watch California, and that's gonna boost their general
And I mean, the
yeah,
influx of new
new
mentors from a couple
mentors
years
that are
ago, and
famous.
I
Yeah,
also think they were better last year than they were this year, even though they didn't make World. So,
that I'll
like,
disagree with, but yeah.
okay.
But yeah, they're definitely they're definitely really good for sure.
All right. Shall we move on
So
to our top
now
50?
we're doing
We're doing 5 at a
5s.
time now.
5 at a time this time.
Yeah,
Yep.
So 50 through 46.
Yep.
I'll
Okay.
copy Taegen.
What? Oh. Okay. I was like, what do you mean? Uh, uh, more 7028. Let's go, Casey.
Whoa. Robonauts 46.
That's low.
That's interesting.
27 low as well.
Yeah.
27-46. Unless am I the last Waffles hand holdout? Well, maybe Nick. Maybe Nick.
I think I still have waffles to go.
It's either that or
Oh,
they're not on
yeah,
the
right.
list, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should
Waffles
I
higher than
spoil it?
Rush. That's bold. Not
We're going to be
yet.
waiting a bit for waffles on my list.
Oh boy, Nick has them
Ooh.
ranked 1.
Wait, who has waffles higher than Rush?
Well, Nick.
Nick.
Oh.
Yeah, I sort of
I see.
factored the off season where you were one with 2056 a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
into
true.
that.
That one was pretty.
Fair enough. Yeah, am I the first 368?
I think so.
I
Yes.
think so.
I thought they
But,
were
like-
I mean, maybe you guys still have them, but yeah, I thought they were really good. They were second
First pick of their
overall.
div.
I mean, well, I
Yeah.
think 2054 got declined by somebody, I think, but
Yeah, but it wasn't a full scorch. It was
yeah, I think it was only like one team or something like that.
yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of 2054, I have them now.
Yeah, lots of 2054 coming in this range. Seems like we're all kind of
That's
in
true.
agreement.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lots of 67, 2075 I'm seeing. Had a few Valors now.
Definitely a Michigan heavy
Mhm.
section.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Was Evan the last 1731, or did I just have them really, really low?
They are
No.
I think
still to
Brennan
go. I still
has
have
Yeah,
them.
okay,
his
so
to
we go
go.
on a couple lists.
I still have them, yeah.
Yeah. They're still to go on mine as well.
Okay, so
I also see that 7407 has a couple different opinions among lists. I think
Yeah.
4 people have them listed now.
I have them much lower than everyone else, it seems.
Have I already
I
put them
might have
out?
had them the lowest. Possibly.
I had them at
No,
90.
no, Nick, you have them the
May not.
third highest.
Yeah, so they're on everyone's list now.
Yep.
I have them at 90, and Tay has them at
40. I have them at
74.
47,
74, yeah.
and same with Casey. So I guess we're the biggest believers in 7407. I just thought
I
they had a
think
great
so.
robot. They were a little bit of consistency issues, but their peaks were extremely high.
Yeah, they have a 2-sided intake. I think that helped them a lot with cleanup speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Krypton Cougars.
Yeah, they
They're
were
good.
good. I had them
Are
a
they?
little
Is it the
higher.
first
I
time that
guess.
we have them?
I think so. Yeah, first
I
Krypton
put them on
I've
in the
noticed
previous
them.
round.
Them at
Oh yeah,
54.
Casey got them yeah, right.
And I've got a Petty, because Petty was good. I like them.
Yeah, I think you might be the highest on them.
Yep, Tay's the last person to put Petty.
Petty holdout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tech Bikes is our number one now.
2054, then 7028.
And
Mhm.
bare metal. P&W rep.
Mhm. Yep. All
I
right.
mean, nothing too crazy. I would say Rush and 118 are low.
The low ones, yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree with that. I
I'm gonna
don't have
keep
Petty that
I'm gonna
high,
keep
but
saying Waffles a little bit low,
okay.
Yeah, so looking back at my notes, I think I probably could have easily put 118 higher. The one holdout I had on them was their amp sometimes was missing in the match that I watched.
Right.
Yeah.
Due to the complexity of having to rotate the turret around and then stick out
True.
the bar.
I mean, their double shot was great. They
Yes.
shoot from a ton of positions.
In Limbs, they were
near
just
the amp.
so by
Yep.
far the strongest team on their alliance. So
Well, yeah, that's not saying much considering their first or their alliance captain was broken, but you know, still
they look like the best robot in the field.
in
Every
most of
match,
the matches,
I
yeah.
think.
I'd say every match
I didn't
except for
watch the
match 8.
elims for that.
Okay.
Another clump.
45 to 41. I think I'm gonna have a spicy one.
I consider most of my remaining list to be probably pretty spicy up until maybe top 10.
I have one pegged in top 10 that might be considered spicy by some people.
Link. We're back
Link
to
is
Link.
back.
Link is back again.
Whoa, Nick! What is that? B's down
80-33
at
is very
41.
high. Also,
Oh yeah,
I
that's
feel.
also true. Yeah. All right, here comes the.
Wait,
Okay.
IRS at 44. I
Okay,
just want to point out IRS at
CPR,
44.
CPR, bro. No way. No,
IRS
I'm
at
sorry.
44
So-
though is
Look, Brennan, I know you might have some opinions of them from 2023, but like their playing at champs, I think was their peak for the whole season, to be honest, and their
I don't
passing
disagree.
game was like pretty strong.
Yeah, I think
Um,
this entire 41 row is interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna
41.
go mine. 604. I thought they were a lot better until I watched their matches and counted their numbers. Their numbers are just not as good as I thought they were. Compared to a lot of other teams, their numbers are just not there. People have them really high because, you know, they seeded well. I think they outseeded Poofs at one of the California events. You know, they've been up there the entire time. Yeah. It's not like, no knock to them, obviously. They're very, very strong and did very well. Just, I thought that they were kind of in the range, of like a top 20 team or a top 10 team. And when I looked at the numbers, their numbers are just not that. So that's why they're down here.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
I think
Look at the numbers. It's
most
not an
people
opinion.
are going to have them high. Are going to have them higher than that. But I think your reasoning is justified, but I think you went a little bit too far in the negative. I mean, I don't have them in my top 10. I'll say that, but I think they were a very good robot.
For sure. Yeah.
Was pretty darn consistent at that level as well.
Top 41 is insane.
That's true.
Also, I think this is the first time the majority of our group has a team within one rank of each other.
That's actually true.
180.
Spam. So much spam at 44,
no.
45.
I have 180 way down.
I know you do. You had them at like 80 something.
78, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think they're very consistent at shooting. Well, they're very good at shooting. They have pretty good range, pretty good speed.
Mm.
Not quite at full like strength during the limbs, I don't think, but I think they had some troubles with their alliance partners as well. Yeah,
they had some
weren't quite
reliability
well.
issues with their partners.
Yeah, 33-57 didn't quite perform.
I just think 180 was kind of like one of those teams that was like a little bit like a better 353, like a very good, like good at everything, but not an all-star at anything. And for me, basically all of these teams needed to be like really good at least one thing.
They have much better range and speed than 353. I think they can shoot from
farther. No, I agree. But like they're just the equivalent of what I would say. Like they're like 353 in that they were like a solid, consistent, really good team that just wasn't like an insane passer and wasn't an insane finisher. It was just
Sure, their passing wasn't amazing. It was fine, but they're better. I thought they were a better finisher than they were passer.
I think they did a bit of both.
They did, yeah. There were definitely matches where they had 30-57 doing a lot of the finishing, and I'm not sure that was the strategic play. But
yeah, I might be the highest on Link.
I think you are. I think the only person who hasn't
Everyone else has had them by now, so.
Well, we're gonna get spicy because Link is so good.
They were good. They were very good.
Well, you can tell Nick that because Nick was the biggest Link hater, so.
I'm definitely the biggest Link fan.
I actually just noticed multiple people now have put 125 on the list.
Yeah,
I do not have.
I think this is a bit low for 125.
125 was very good when they were scoring and being intelligent. That was not all of the time.
It's such a good robot, though, and their trap was so reliable.
Yes.
Definitely one of the best. Best teams reliability-wise.
What was that girls only team from New England that had the really good trap? I did not put them on my list. I'm trying to remember who they are.
I'm trying to think of girl only, like female only teams in New English.
5-13, Sisters First.
Oh.
New Jersey. Okay, Mid-Atlantic, not New England. Okay. Anyway, they had a good trap. Fun fact. They're not on my list.
Alrighty.
Wait, hold up. Does this mean that Dave doesn't make Casey or Nick's list at all? Or are they coming later?
We'll see.
I'm just realizing.
I think you'll have to wait and see.
Interesting. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know if they're. Oh, I guess Cobb just had them. Evan just had them, so we'll see. Wait,
All
I
right.
did. Yeah.
Dave better than Symbiotics?
Yeah, I mean, let's
for most of the
ignore
season,
some of
yes.
the.
Yes, I guess. Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright.
feel like I'm
Okay.
gonna get flamed for my next 5.
okay. Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay.
This one might get some hate, but that's okay.
Ooh. I'm gonna potentially get flamed for that one as well. Oh, we got a bunch of Daves. Got some
Now I feel
Hawk.
better having a lot of the same
Okay.
picks for other people.
Lots of
Who's my-
176.
Lots of 176. Lots of Bs in this range. I gotta say though, I definitely don't agree with 4362's placement for Brennan.
In what direction?
Too low, I'm assuming.
I had them
He hasn't
higher.
had them. He hasn't had them yet, and he disagrees with it. So either he thinks that they're sub 100.
Here's the thing though. They got knocked out in 2, and they didn't seed. And their numbers were not that good,
Because
unfortunately.
we stole their parts.
No, but amazing team. I think they had
Wait,
an
what?
amazing robot.
I'll
I
admit,
think strategically,
yeah.
maybe they didn't play super well, which knocked them
They
a bit
ranked
lower.
second. They definitely seeded.
Oh, they were Alliance captain? I forgot that.
Yeah.
Well, I stand by
Seeded
it. Their numbers are
terribly.
not that good.
Actually terrible. Can't even seed first. What a team.
I agree with 4362 had the highest ceiling of FIM teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that I thought people would
that.
jump out on is 4613. Down at
Nah.
Honestly,
37.
it's
I
not
think
that
this
far
is.
from mine.
Okay.
I mean, I have them higher, but not that much higher.
Yeah.
So, I did think they would be higher on my list
Me too.
before I made my
Me too.
list.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
just lacked like peak in. They were pretty consistent, but they were not dominant really in any way.
Yeah.
I felt.
Yeah, I have them
And
quite
when
a bit higher, but I also can sort of understand them here.
We're in the same conversation, I think is fair to say.
I do have one pick on my next like Wyndham this high for 2 people. That actually.
Yeah, that is kind of. Well, I
That's
mean, Wyndham
surprising.
and Dave, right? Both of them were on the same alliance. Both of them were kind of the
Yeah.
same range, right? So
I thought Dave was better than Wyndham though, so that to me
I
seems
agree.
Where do you have Wyndham, Brennan?
Not on my list. I forgot to put them on, but they
Okay.
would have been
Well, right.
somewhere down there.
Okay. I have them lower than everyone else who had them by a pretty big margin.
I had Wyndham at 47 and Dave at 51. So again, like same clump
Same range,
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one that didn't put them in the same clump. All right.
I definitely would have put them lower, like a good chunk lower than this, probably.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Dave was ranked 1 on the sheet right now.
Let's go, Dave.
let's go, Dave.
I see
Yeah,
we also have the
interesting.
first appearance of Argos. I'm
Yep.
assuming everyone else has them.
I hope so. They were insanely
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I definitely had Hot higher than everyone else, it seems.
I
Yeah,
forgot
I
on my
just
list.
again.
I didn't know where to put them.
Yeah, they were a hard
They
one
look
for me,
very good
but
in
they
limbs
were
and
sort of in
also
the
at times
lower
during
They were-
playoffs or during calls.
Yeah, they're one of those teams. There's kind of like a I have a trap and I play bad because of it syndrome, and Hot kind of fell into that for me personally, going for traps too early and then like struggling with them and not scoring at the end. That maybe lowered them for me. just like their
Yeah, I did.
strategic play. I definitely value
Yeah, that's fair.
strategic play a lot more than I think a lot of the other people on the list. Like I really like the
I think
teams that
that's true.
play really well, play smart.
Well, yeah, that's
Mhm.
why I put 125 at 41 lower.
Okay, maybe not that low, but yeah. An 8013. Am I the only one that does not have 8013 yet?
I
Definitely.
think so.
Dang, I'm the 8013 fan.
I know
There's
you're
one
very high
team
on them
coming up
because
in. There's one team coming up in the next chunk that I'm willing to defend hard, and I think I might have to.
Okay.
uh-oh.
We'll
Uh-oh.
see.
Oh,
Alright.
speaking of that, you also have Lambot at 40.
I
Yeah,
do have
that's
Lambot
definitely
about
low.
at 40.
That's definitely low, I
I
think.
just they didn't look that good even at their peak.
I agree, they got
Their
fed
consistency was
super
pretty
hard,
good,
but they
but
were consistent. Yeah, exactly.
sure, but I don't think they were that much better in terms of their quality of like their peak performance or their consistency than teams like Spam or whatever.
Oh no, I definitely think they were a lot better
No,
than
I think they were doing better than Spam at their peak.
Well, they were better, which is why I have them 5 points higher.
a lot better. Alright, let's
Okay.
do next 5.
Oh, nice one there, Brennan.
Yeah, nice.
I'm crazy.
Ooh. Okay, we got some Lambots. CIS.
They were so
Whoa.
good. They shot while moving so efficiently. They had such an accurate shoot, such an accurate
I didn't
feeder.
see them
They
shoot
were
while moving.
cracked. They basically always would shoot while strafing by going around the pole, and come
Was
back. Well, not
this
always,
was
but
this in
often.
Elims?
In Elims, yeah, a lot of it was in Elims.
Okay,
It
because
They
in
is
the
carried
rated.
they carried that alliance
because
to
in the qual matches I was watching, they didn't do anything like that at all.
they did that in Elims at least.
I honestly did not see that level of performance from them, to be honest. That's
I thought it
crazy to
was
me.
very, very good.
That's crazy.
That
Also,
I
is
think he
Spectrum,
squats
hello?
some more than
The disrespect to Spectrum. Such a good team.
Well, to be fair, look where I have 118.
I mean,
Texas hater.
Just a
I
Texas
still
Yeah.
hate
hater
Yeah,
at this
Texas.
point.
disrespect
yeah.
to Texas.
Yeah, and appreciate it
Um,
58.
Oh, that's so true.
Spectrum, what I saw from them rewatching matches on Kiri, and not Elims, but like the qual matches,
Right.
I'm doing two Elims. That's
missed
okay.
so many shots in the speaker.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
their
they're a
passing
passer.
also didn't look great either
They're
in the match I watched.
they're definitely a high volume passer with a very solid like auto.
No, it was auto where they were missing the shots.
Really?
Or wait, maybe not the. Sorry, maybe it was their intake during auto at the center line was
Yeah, it could be.
not working. Yeah, I have notes like occasional speaker accuracy issues, passing. Some of the notes they passed missed the field completely, and the rest were like a wide dispersion. It might have literally just been the 1 or 2 matches I watched were bad matches.
They definitely had some issues in playoffs with shooting both into the
Yeah.
speaker and out of the field, which did knock it down a little bit from there.
Oh, I love shooting out of the field.
Yeah,
think
well,
it's
they
fun.
did that more than they should have.
So does 2137.
Apparently, someone wants Brennan's outlier take on 2075.
2075. Where did I have them? Way down here, 59. To be honest, well, actually,
Not that much of an
Evan had
outlier.
them 50 as well.
I have them at 50.
To be honest, they just didn't impress me a ton. Like they're just like a solid, like decent robot. I don't really have a ton to say. Like they didn't wow me, but they were also like really good. So they're kind of like in the middle of the range of the top 100. And yeah, 80-30,
Someone's
80-33.
requesting
That's a while
Super
ago, but
Super Dude's requesting 80-33. Why do you put them at 40?
yeah,
Nick?
42. Yeah, that's a while ago, but still.
You're thinking that's way too high?
Yeah.
Someone just said I still want to hear why Nick put 80-33 at 40 something.
I'm trying to remember. I think they just were really good at ranking. Didn't they get both rank 2 division finalist at Worlds, and I guess they didn't rank as high as I remembered at Chesy, but they still ranked at Chesy.
Yeah. They were a good bot. I had them 80 something, but I just didn't. They to me they're similar to 353 in a lot of ways. Just like that pretty consistent, pretty good type deal. But no, I mean I get them being good. I had them higher for a bit. Not quite that high, but
I'm a little surprised seeing 359 at 32 from Nick.
Yeah, I was sort of going with that as my bold play. That I can.
He's got
I was
Hawaii
expecting
right
to be
together.
sort of a hater on them.
I don't hate it, to be honest. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I just when their robot is basically 2013, 2910.
Again, 359 is one of those teams that when I did the numbers, their numbers were a lot lower than I thought they would be.
Yeah, that's sort of
Right.
where I was at.
That's fair.
I still feel 32
They'll
is
win the
pretty darn
easier
low.
events, but when they get to the highest level, I sort of couldn't see them being that close to getting that next step.
Yeah, they came
I'm gonna look up
third in their division, I think. With a bit of a interesting like underdog alliance, which they played well, but I just
they were
didn't.
captain of Alliance 5.
Yeah.
Notably, they were ranked 6, so they didn't get picked either, which is
Yeah, their
not a
numbers
huge
were
deal,
just
but
not there for me.
Well, didn't they decline?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
you might
don't
be
Didn't
right.
they
remember.
decline
Possible.
Alliance 2 or maybe 3? I think they declined 3.
You actually might be right. I forget.
I think they I think they declined Lambot, if I remember correctly. I'll look it up.
Are we ready for our final clump before we go into
after I search the alliance selection? Yeah, I want to see. I want to see who they declined, because I'm curious.
Which
division? This they're on Newton, right?
Kikamon are our
yes.
current number
Oh
one
no,
team.
they declined CPR.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but somebody
Okay,
had CPR really high. Casey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not as high as 359.
True.
Yeah. Also, Cybercavs, who did not attend champs, sitting number 3 currently.
They were very, very good. Their AI stuff and like note tracking was crazy good.
Oh, it was
and
not AI,
just in
but
general.
yes. Yeah, they were very good.
Whatever.
I liked their amp a lot.
I had
one
them
of the fastest I've seen.
Lower than most people, I guess, because I felt like the level of play just got a lot better after district champs. So I couldn't rate them. Like, they probably would have been higher if they had gone to champs and still did stuff, but I just think the district champs level of play was a lot lower than like even average.
Are you saying they did not have fierce competition in Ontario divisional finals from the strong
to be fair, they were in the harder.
especially.
They were in the harder division though, for sure. Like,
yeah.
I mean, sure they played with 2056, and obviously 2056 is absurdly good, but they had to work for it for sure. Like, I think they would have been up there. It just, I think the game evolved drastically from
but I think they would have been fine.
And
like,
I don't think they were the best cleaner, and they couldn't pass well. They can't pass well enough. So to me, that just is a huge problem. Which
I would have expected them to be a very strong cleaner. But you guys being from
I
Ontario,
think they probably would
probably
have been
know better
if
than
they
I.
were, but I just didn't think that their cleaning was anywhere near like world level at district champs from what we saw last. And then they can't
Well,
pass. So if they're not cleaning, their passing is just not accessible. So that's why I didn't have them. Maybe they would have gotten to that top level where like you guys have them right now with like the 30-ish range. But for me, they just because they never showed that, I couldn't put them that high.
you're breaking Curtis's heart right now.
Yeah, I mean.
Just kidding. He literally just said Brennan is right. Ignore that. Curtis is fine.
All right.
Curtis is always his team's harshest critic, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
True.
All right, let's do our next 5.
All right.
Wow, I'm surprised I wasn't the highest chill
Wait,
out.
Nick has waffles in top 25.
Or he hates us.
Brennan, I'm
This is
seeing some
absurd.
has
similarities in this
number
chunk.
1.
Yeah,
Brennan, I'm
you
seeing
guys
some
are really
similarities in
in the
this
Chill
chunk.
out.
same.
Chill out. And Buck's
Twin.
Wrath.
176.
Appreciate.
Lambot.
Wackadoodle.
Did you say wackadoodle?
Yeah, I did.
I agree.
Wackadoodle. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think any of these are particularly spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
they're-
hating on
they're all
4481 a little
interesting.
bit, I think, Casey, but you know.
I mean, it's really tight above here, I feel like.
It is, but you're still hating on him. It'll call you out for that.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
really like I think it's valid where he has them. I don't think.
The thing is, I feel like the top 20, well, 4481 in particular, I did put a lot of thought into where I put them, and there's not any teams above them that I would say they definitely deserve to be above with hindsight, except for maybe my number 25. Which I know, Brennan, you would think that they go above 25, but
yeah,
it's tough. I think a lot of the teams I put in the top 25 had consistency issues at champs that I overlooked.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely. I definitely harshly punished the inconsistency, I would say. On my
I
list.
don't always, but
yeah.
I think if you dominate in playoffs, I think that makes up for it.
Fair enough. Like if you have a little rough of quals.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have a team coming up eventually that definitely had some consistency issues.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, nothing crazy here. I mean, I guess everybody else has 604 aside from Taegen in the top 25. So just
No. Oh no, yeah. 30th, which I think is I originally had them higher, but like it was one of those things where I had them in. I think I had them like 18th, and then I went and rewatched like my top 30-ish or whatever. I'm like, oh okay.
I think I started them with like top 7 or something, but I just
okay. Well,
I think I had them in my top 10 at one point
wild.
also,
Yeah.
or at least close.
Wild.
All right,
I'm
25.
Okay, sure.
Speaking of 604, I have 604. Hey, Nick!
Oh, the triple!
That's a lot of 604.
Yeah, lots of 604. I mean, fair enough. Low top 25.
That puts them on top.
Well, Brennan, I'm assuming
overall.
True. Brennan, I'm assuming you punished 6036 for
Yes.
consistency issues. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, fair and reasonable.
But they were so freaking good when they were working.
I definitely focused a little bit more on their peak in my ranking, especially how they played in playoffs.
Yeah.
They even had a dead match in play. Dude, they played against dogs. They were dead for like a minute, and they still won the match. I'm like, how?
They're
So good.
insane.
That's why.
I mean,
Just straight up.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I
lots of
mean,
Quicksilver.
27. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people are just underrating 27. People have already put them on the list a little bit, but
I wanted to put them 27th, but I couldn't, and I was sad. I was like looking at them like, can I make this happen? But
they're just really
That's
solid.
why
I mean, I had the same issue you did, Brennan, of watching matches of them and seeing like they're not. I can't put them as
Seeing
high as
them
I
do
thought
bad.
I would.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, 35th or 25th are both very respectable. So
yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, nothing crazy here. Let's go with next one here. Ooh, Roboteers. High Rollers, 33, 118, and we'll never know.
I'm typing. I'm typing. I forgot to type the word team in first.
33.
Okay.
9483. So I guess you guys all have them. I think them in the top 25 is too high. I think that people are a little bit too wowed by their auto stuff, which I don't even think is super
it's
strong
not
at a high
well.
level.
I mean, yeah, there's no reason to have an 8-piece auto at Worlds. Like, that's not going to do
Well,
you any
yeah.
good more than like a 5, right?
But like even just like their auto, I mean, it was very strong. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was like the best at high level. It's not like they had
Yeah.
different
I
things. They
tended to
just
like
ran the
their
same one.
finishing a little bit more, so I think people will be surprised at how high I have them.
Interesting.
They're in what, Milstein?
I thought they weren't reliable enough, to be honest. They had a few matches where they broke, and then 604 had to come save them.
Possible.
For me, they just had a little bit too many rough around the edges things to put them in the top 25.
I'm a
I
little
mean,
surprised,
they're definitely the top
Brennan.
25 for me.
I'm a little surprised Brennan is 118 here because I remember you said you arguing really hard that they were a top 10 robot like a few months ago.
Yep. Well,
They fell.
I think
Uh,
I think what changed is I watched more matches and I was really high on them because they were just like the best team on the field for their Alum's performances, but that's because their other robots were kind of like broken / not playing super well. But
I just realized something, and
uh-oh.
I'm sad about it.
What?
I forgot to put a team on my list.
Oh no.
Oh, quick!
It's
throw out
118.
someone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm sure one of the top 23 can be replaced to just drop them for your list. Easy, no problem.
Bye-bye, Waffles. It was nice knowing you.
Damn!
Unlucky. All right, let's do 23 here. Two 359s, a 125, a 27, and a scream. Nice scream.
Thank you.
Oh, you screamed. I get it. Ha ha
Yep.
ha ha.
Mhm.
Hilarious.
See, you're not the only person who knows how to make jokes.
I mean, I think all of these are pretty reasonable, to be
Scream
honest.
too low. Here is another team that I thought was really, really good. And then I looked at their numbers, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, but how many champs you got?
To be fair with the numbers on that alliance is the cycling nature of that alliance
but
has a pretty
also
big effect.
I rewatching that. I mean, gonna sound cringe, but I just feel like they found the right timing and the right luck to make it work. I feel like if you were to run that back, those same exact alliances multiple times, I don't think they I think they have a very low percentage of going deep.
I
To be
mean,
honest,
I don't think they were the best alliance on Einstein. I don't, but I do
Agree
think
with
they were
that.
one of the better alliances on Einstein.
I don't think they were top
Like,
half.
Oh, they were top half. They
I
were probably third.
strongly disagree. I think that the entire alliance hinged on how good 3-2-1 was playing, basically. And if 3-2-1 didn't shut down a thing, they would have just gotten raw outscored.
Thing is, there are really only two
So
alliances running that strategy.
you must have
The other one is the Newton
3-2-1 in
alliance.
your top 22, right?
No.
true.
I
True.
definitely toyed with just slotting them in at 100 just because, but I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. Waxon says finding luck is part of the game. Like, yeah, of course, it's not to take away from the world championship win. They were the best alliance on the day. I just don't think that alliance was the strongest, and I don't think that the way that they played would win
They just caught
most of the
people
time.
off guard. That was the main thing. Is it like threw people off? The 3-2-1 was playing defense, and they weren't able to like adapt at all.
Yeah.
I think
If,
it just
the
comes
Newton
down to
alliance had
3-2-1 played really well, played really good defense, and then we saw 3-2-1 play defense at other events, and they were not remotely as successful. I think it's just.
What
I think
the
if you.
driver had some Wheaties in the morning and
Yeah,
was really
they found the magic in the moment, and that's great for them, and not taking away that was a huge part of the reason. But I think if you run that exact alliance, those exact alliances, that exact tournament multiple times, they don't their bottom half over 50% of the
I
time.
think bottom half is pretty bold.
harsh.
I don't think so. I think there's
Yeah.
3 that are really like the Poofs alliance,
Look,
the
like
Citrus, and the OP
Newton.
alliance is very clearly ahead.
The OP alliance did not look strong.
Mm,
They did not heed well. Their third bots were not working at
their
all.
third bots were weak, yes, but you have 3-2-1, which
I think I would argue that Newton, yeah, I mean realistically, they also had some pretty bad, pretty weak third bots. I think Hopper was actually a pretty strong alliance.
I think Hopper is better than them. Those are the 4 that I would say are clear, like on average would be ahead. So
I don't know about Galileo. I just don't think outside of I I don't think I put Galileo there. Archimedes, maybe they had a pretty darn good third bot. Archimedes did,
yeah, they did.
but it's hard for me to put anyone other than Newton as clearly better. But I could see the
I
argument
just don't rate them
for Hopper and Arc.
with
but
the way that they played, with how they. I don't think it's the right way to play the game. And if you were to do it again, people would just eat that up. And that's why I have them at 23, because they were playing a different way. They're still a good team, but the numbers weren't amazing, even in quals. They're just a really solid, good robot. They're still top 25. They're like insanely good. Just not that high. Okay. Are we ready?
sure.
So ready.
Link! Let's go, Link! Woo!
Damn.
Link!
That is
Woo! Let's go!
Let's go! Wolves!
Hey, Waffles! Woo! Let's go!
Let's go Bucks Wrath.
well, this is
I
eighth place of all time.
I just loved Link. They were so
They are
consistent.
so
They were
good.
putting up
They were a
huge
great
passing numbers.
passer.
Huge passing numbers, basically better than everybody else. There are only a few better passing robots in the world at Worlds. They were super underrated. Got to give them love. They're 22nd.
All right. I mean, honestly, fair and reasonable. I thought about putting Link higher, but I ended up not doing that. I don't see any picks. I mean, the waffles pick to me is high, but the other ones seem
that's high for
fine.
me too. But
I'll take it. Let's go.
I think
Should I just swap it for
where Nick was.
Robonauts?
I think
Yeah,
where
just
Nick is
No.
where
No,
Nick is
no, no,
talking
no.
about though. Like I do think that if you are looking at waffles at Stemley specifically, I think that in that 25-ish range isn't unreasonable if he was factoring that in based on the
I
performance
think
of
he
that.
said he
So,
was.
which is what he said. So I actually don't think it's that reasonable or unreasonable for what his list context was. It's just my context was much more like champs focused, where waffles was clearly not at that level.
Are you saying when we broke our CAN bus and our main
just dead.
breaker fell apart,
Yep.
that wasn't peak FRC?
No.
Insanity.
But yeah, if you're looking at the Stemley version, where we have the stronger autos, we have the better passing, and I think that
Yeah.
that's
For me,
definitely
our
reasonable.
biggest issue for
Wa-
why being up so high is bad is because our auto
It just didn't
scoring
hit.
percentage
Yeah,
was
it just didn't hit.
atrocious.
Yeah, we were stealing the notes, which was good, but we just weren't scoring them. So at champs.
All right, 21.
21. Ready for another one?
We're
I'm
so
for another
ready.
one.
Yeah, 8013. Woo!
Oh my
Let's go!
goodness. It's basically a school
8013.
cat near the top
Yeah!
25.
I love 8013. They're so good.
I see
Bot
that.
Busters. Holy! That's a
I
wild
love
one.
Botbuster.
That's a
Ahead of
wild
I
one.
love
Lambot.
Botbusters. I love Botbusters. I think they were so good. Their reliability issues were unfortunate, but I didn't consider them because I didn't care because I like them that much. Like their ceiling was incredible. So they're here. I had them higher at one point too, but I rested on 21st.
Yeah, we
Someone
got a
likes Curry
Tool
Division.
Cast in 21st. Not bad.
I do.
Yeah.
I
have
respect
just
that. I
admit it.
respect that.
Yeah, I
Cool
can
Cats were great.
Yeah.
Tool Cats were very good.
I think they were the biggest deal of Alliance selection at Worlds.
Probably.
Probably.
How is
It was
8013
insane how
that
far they
high?
fell.
They're the goats, bro. They were putting up numbers like
I think they're the
crazy.
Lions.
They're just
Oh yeah, true.
they're just
They are the
not
Lions.
Boston Lions. True, yep. They're just not quite. I don't know. I just didn't think they were quite like
They're just such a
East-wide.
consistent finisher. So consistent.
Yeah, there were other teams that were like that. I
No,
feel.
there weren't. You look at
Finished
the
ever,
numbers,
actually,
it's
according to
not.
Brennan.
Okay, let me pull up the numbers for Limbs 1 second.
I looked at the numbers. I
Go
looked
for it. I'm
heavily
gonna
at the
cut
numbers
myself some cheese as a
when
snack while
making
you
my
do that.
94. Okay, just for reference, Link averaged passing of 19.33 notes,
Yeah,
which is basically better than every single team in the world except for a few teams that are going to come on this list a little bit later. But they were the second best passer at Worlds.
I'm not arguing that much with you
And
with
then
that. I'm arguing less. The Boston Lions
8013. Where are they?
I know they were great. I saw the stats.
So they scored an average of 11.5 speaker amps, and then 9.5 teleamps, and an average of 3.5 in auto. So they were hitting their auto every single time. They're hitting
It was the four
basically
note, though. It was the
peak.
front.
Can't relate.
Yeah, sure, but not every team was hitting that, and they were hitting basically better cleanup numbers than 99% of the teams.
Well,
Plus they were trapping. So big W.
Yeah,
They were
because trap matters so much.
I mean, it's something.
It's worth it. It's worth
I mean,
it. It's
here,
worth
I'm
a
not
miss,
disagreeing
right?
that here it matters too, right? To separate teams from one another, but I do think you got to remember that like it's like one note.
They're one of those teams that they don't look that flashy, but their numbers are insane. They're just super
Our
consistent hitting
numbers
those
were very
four.
good.
Yeah.
I just didn't see them have to face against defense or anything. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
they
well,
weren't.
most teams were not playing against defense, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, sure, but I just I didn't think they were that outstanding in their peak. While yes, they were very consistent, and I ranked them at other teams over.
Yes, their Worlds
So,
Auto was
yeah, so-
the close 4-note. Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
top 20.
Wait, still making my cheese.
I'm gonna get some call out, I think, for my entry here. A team that's already been talked about.
Walton.
Walton. You got them high.
Yeah, so like when you watch the one match where they were amazing, apparently that does that.
Damn.
Yeah, fair enough.
In the one or two matches that I watched them, like they were stealing a bunch of notes from like their opponent's intake area. They were never sitting still. They were cleaning up, hitting every shot. They were doing some shooting on the move as they get close to the speaker. At their peak, I think they would be in top 25. But apparently there were some pretty big inconsistency issues that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, fair enough. It is hard to make a list.
Mostly in Alum, but yeah, I mean, watching one match from every team is still 100 matches, plus however many teams didn't make your list.
Yeah,
So it's a lot.
it is a lot. Yeah, plus I was watching like just like all of Worlds of Limbs multiple times, basically. So
Yeah,
Mhm,
you've probably watched more matches than anyone else for
yeah,
this by
probably.
far.
definitely.
At least for Limbs, I didn't watch nearly as much like quals and that kind of stuff.
We also got the first entry of 1796.
Yep.
hmm
Hello, my name's 1796. I'm in at number
interesting.
20.
Interesting because they didn't win their division. They didn't even make finals. They were
That was a
third
weird
place, I
division to
think.
play out.
But I think, like heading into
That alliance
that,
was
we
really
thought
good,
that
though.
alliance. I'm sure most of us thought, oh yeah, that alliance is making it all the way.
Yeah, but that's why we play the matches, because weird stuff happens.
Yep. I think part of the reason they didn't win is because their third bot, that's ranked in the top 50 on Tagen's list, wasn't very good.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion sucks.
Eh, I lied. They're not ranked top 50. They're ranked top 60 on your list.
So chat talking about 987. I have them 20. Casey has them 24.
24th.
So maybe people thinking that they're a bit low.
Maybe a little, but here the
I
like,
easily
I don't know.
could have put them higher. I wasn't really sure
Me
where to
too.
place them within the top 25.
For me, part of it was just I thought that their alliance didn't play super amazingly overall.
I didn't think they were I don't want to say they weren't the right picks for each other, but it didn't seem to fully click the way it could have with those 3 or
with
4,
OP
like
and
with
yeah.
OP 987. Like it didn't seem to click super cohesively in a way that it could have. And I don't know if that was because of the third bot not playing into it how they wanted them to, or if it was just between the two. But I think that kind of made 987 look worse than they were, in my opinion.
Right.
They were pretty darn good at cleanup, I thought.
Oh
They
yeah,
were,
absolutely.
for sure.
Like
And they had some
I
great
haven't
autos
put them
as
yet.
well.
Like they're still definitely very good, but I'm thinking like they didn't show their best, and I think they could have done better than what they did.
I think they'd probably be ranked higher if they tried to pass a little bit more. But
Yeah.
True.
All right, team number 19. Taegen and I are not far off here.
Here we go.
Oh,
Not
high
wrong.
125. A high 125. Honestly, I think if you were just exclusively thinking about the robot, yeah, makes sense. So I don't hate it. I don't hate any of these picks. These are right around there.
Yeah.
Right around where I
This
think that they
seems
should
pretty
be.
chalk.
Yeah.
We're so good at this.
Okay.
Well, the more we go, the more of these teams we've
So
already
this
looked
one
at
people
as
might
well.
be
So less to talk about.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
some spicy ones now. We got Gems, the O2 Limbs performance. Why you got them up here?
Because I don't think they were the reason for the O2 Alum's performance, bro.
They were the reason for it too.
Their auto
Their Alliance
had
probably played better.
significant issues.
Okay,
Yeah,
well.
like
Didn't
driving into the wall and not doing anything during auto.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty bad.
Also 1771, like.
I still think.
Speaking of not great
Gems
Alliance
was probably
performances,
Gems was the second best robot on Kiri, in my opinion. So
Wait, who's the best?
you'll see.
Okay. I think they had a
assume
really high peak.
Spectrum.
I just don't think that they
Yeah,
resisted
yeah.
enough. That's
I think
all.
part of this too is like our match with them was amazing, and so I kept that in my
You get
heart.
biased. I got the
true.
Bumblebee pick. You
Yeah,
all,
Yeah,
y'all
that's
haters.
bold. They
Y'all
were great,
haters.
but
Yeah,
I mean, I had.
they didn't have an amazing limbs run with their alliance, but I think that they're obviously they have that infamous alliance selection debate thing that
yeah,
Stuff.
happened, which I don't think they found an alliance that worked well for them, and it hurt
that's
them.
true.
But I thought they were great all season. They were making long bombs really well. They were shooting, cleaning up well.
You
They're
call them
passing well.
long bombs?
Yeah, like they had one of the longest shots for sure that was reliable.
But yeah, I was just more questioning the long bombs terminology,
heard
which I've
that
never heard you
saying,
say.
Okay.
No. And more so, never heard him say that ever. But that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, Rembrandt's Buck's Wrath, not too bad. All right, number 17.
I think mine's going to be the most contentious potentially
yeah.
here.
A bit high.
Brennan?
You gotta look at their numbers, brother. You gotta look at their numbers.
They were pretty good, and they had the issue with their feeder bot being broken for some of their limbs matches,
which hurts their numbers,
Yep.
brother. I think they're low, evidently.
I also think that's low.
Didn't make finals in a division that they probably should have made finals in. And I just think that all the other teams did.
Their alliance
better
captain
numbers.
broke, Brennan.
Their other
What are
teams
they
put in
supposed to
numbers,
do?
bro.
I mean, they were also against, like, they
How
went
do you
into
put
the
in
lower
numbers and your
bracket.
feeder bot's broken?
Their peak wasn't
Yeah.
even that high. Let me look at their peak number here. Okay, actually their peak was pretty good. I lied.
Look at the numbers, bro.
20th best peak. Not bad, not bad.
And I honestly think, like, I think they should have been on 2056's alliance, and I think that would have worked better for everyone. I guess except for 987, probably worse for them.
Probably.
But like, I think those two together are, like, assuming they have a good third robot, like, almost unstoppable. So
Buck's
you're
Wrath is our
entitled.
new #1 team.
Huge.
True.
I think everyone's
New
had them now at
England.
this point, yeah?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're peaked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hard to be number one without having being on everyone's list so far at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got Istanbul
Symbiotic?
Wildcats.
Brennan hasn't done symbiotics yet either.
Is it?
Damn, they must be really hot on both those.
Yeah.
They did so well at champs, like, so, and like, the improvement over the season was incredible, and then they did so well at champs. Crazy town, I tell you.
Let's go
That's my
Rush.
line.
Let's go Rush.
Rush is good.
I think that's my highest, or that's Rush's highest. I'm their biggest fan.
I think so as well.
No,
Possible?
Has Casey done Rush?
yeah, Casey had them at
I did,
35.
yes.
So Nick was the
Did
lowest
Nick?
at 46.
Okay.
There's a Team Rush staircase going up.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, again, I think 359 is a bit 359 and Wildcat's a bit high. Love the 4481.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, has anyone not put Wildcats on it?
I have not said Wildcats
Oh
yet.
yeah, right. Nick said he was really high on them.
Oh,
So-
Nick loves turkey.
So as
Right?
people were sharing their picks throughout, I noticed that I had Wildcats and Barker both higher than most people here.
Hmm.
And I
I
think
have
they
both
both
still to go.
played very similar play styles, similar robots, similar advantages to their robots.
Yeah,
I think
consistent.
if I had spent more time comparing all the teams on my list, I may not have put them both so high. I looked at them both pretty early in my list making. So they may have
Right.
gotten a slight buff from that. But I do think it looks like Wildcats are above Barker on pretty much everyone's relative rankings.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think we all kind of agree on that.
Okay.
All right. Number 15.
Oh, new number 1 overall.
Argos.
Ooh.
Couple
Congratulations,
Robonauts.
Argos.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
Another high rollers.
Nothing here is
None of
wild to
these
me.
are crazy. Yeah, exactly. Pretty standard.
Hmm.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Is that the first one of those we've had where we're all like, yeah?
Yeah,
Everyone's like, yeah,
that's pretty
fine.
much. Yeah.
Pretty
All right.
fair.
Next one.
Oh, you guys are going to be so mad at me for this one.
Uh-oh.
Gems!
Uh,
Dang. Some people
Sorry,
really
That's
like
wild.
gems.
Yeah,
for
that's
gems
actually
earlier?
so high. What? They're a
They-
top 14 robot, but they went 0-3 at champs and limbs. Explain that one,
0 and
Casey.
2? I
Yeah,
don't think you
0-2.
can go
0
0
and
and 3
2.
Yeah,
for them.
0-2.
I
Sorry.
remember you didn't watch those, so.
No, actually, you
It-
could if you could. You could go on 3 in Champs Limbs if you were stuffing.
This is me.
Lose a match in regular and then lose 2 on Einstein. Yeah, that's doable.
Well, okay, so I didn't.
So not only did they go
I didn't look at
0-2,
elims.
not only did they
but-
go 0-2, 2200 should have picked gems because they were clearly better than Spectrum.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess what my ranking implies here.
To be fair, it doesn't necessarily, because like this is goodness and not like compatibility, right? Like gems
Well, I
and
mean,
spectrum.
assume you're
if
generally
it-
going to pick the better team. They're like
Well,
15
it
ahead.
depends if you need a better feeder. Yeah, that's
It's
fair. But if you need a
33
better
versus
feeder versus a
14,
better
right?
whatever.
So yeah, I mean my rankings would be like this team is more generally going to do better on an alliance than a lower ranked team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much me purposefully, willingly looking past their inconsistencies.
Right.
And like in elims, they had some pretty big ones. But I think going into champs, they were an Einstein caliber robot. And I think the matches that I watched of them demonstrate that.
Fair enough.
And that's why
They did have some really, really good matches.
I think I would agree with you putting them there if they only had their peak matches, basically. But they didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
get
that they should be there.
I just saw too high of a percentage from what I remember of them being non-peak matches and nowhere near peak matches.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah. For what it's worth, since I forgot 118, I will say my notes say they should be next here.
Okay.
So I'll be changing that, but this is where they should be.
You
Right.
can shift everyone down one. Copy and paste. Sorry, Robo Jackets. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess I'll do that. Whoops.
We'll let Nick get that sorted out, but
Rip Waffles moving down one spot.
oh no. I mean, 23rd is
Does
still
that break anything?
No, I think we're good.
That shouldn't
No,
have.
you're chilling.
So High Roller's now number 1 overall right now. As we
Fair.
go to our next team, and this is going to be the first time for the team that I'm putting in, so maybe it's a little bit scary. Ooh, Bread and High Tide. Got some new
New
additions.
faces.
And Nick's just sorting out his number 13 here. Still
Am I the
sorting.
last one to have Scream? No, Casey hasn't had them yet.
Oh, another bread. Nice.
Heyo.
The gluten-friendly zone.
Gluten.
Okay, so we got 2 breads. Why you got them at 13 and not like top 10?
World's performance.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
The limbs wasn't great.
that's it.
I honestly don't think that their robot was the issue so much as their strategy. They just were not. They were not like passing or like stashing anything to get a whole huge cycle, so they weren't getting their 4. Even though their robot is definitely capable of scoring like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then High Tide in 13. I mean, I don't
Seems
think
gr-
I
that
think
seems
Brett's
right.
reasonable too.
Yeah,
Alright.
Scream is higher than I'd have put him, but nothing else is like that.
Yeah, the only
jumped
thing
out up
is
here.
Scream is sort of questionable. That's the only thing questionable, I would say.
Even
bit
the
high.
person who like
Yeah.
hasn't
Even
like there's still
still,
one person who hasn't have Scream yet, so don't come for me.
It's not
Yeah.
that bad, but it's
I mean,
higher
what,
than
we're 5-6 picks off?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not.
Okay, speaking of bread. Oh, I put him in the
I
wrong
think they're in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Is
Speaking
that
of
a
bread.
Speaking of bread,
Oh, nice. We're all united on the bread front.
I guess so.
All right, we got Robo Chargers, Robo Tigers.
Robo bread.
Robo
Yeah,
bread.
Robo Bread. Yeah, Bread is one of those teams
Gluten-free.
that I just feel like could have or should have been even higher with their robot, just pure robot. Just their execution in matches was not as good as I would have
I
wanted to
don't
get them up there.
understand why they declined.
Yeah, who did they decline?
Didn't they decline 33?
I don't
Think
remember.
so?
But yeah,
Which
they made some weird strategical decisions, which I think hurt them in their Olympus performance. But obviously, they're a sick robot, very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then our second appearance, second and third of Robochargers, just outside the top 10.
I think it's fair for them. Like I think they're very, very good, as all teams in this area are. So sometimes it'd be like
All
that.
right. Next round.
Boom!
Spectrum's high. Appreciate's high. Dang.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate is
appreciate is very high.
interesting.
1706! Casey! No! No!
And there's the controversy.
Don't
Oh
worry, you're gonna be way more upset. when
no! Why? They're so good.
Yeah, I think they're
Each
so
keeps thinking
good.
11th in the world. That's pretty freaking good.
Not good
I
enough.
mean, they didn't make Einstein for what it's worth.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault though.
No. That was a weird division. Like everything with that division was weird.
Yeah, it was. Lots of high tide. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Appreciate definitely a bit high for what they were. A
Good
passing
passer,
robot with
but
that was the problem is their autos weren't that great.
Sure. I can agree to that, but their teleup was
Yes, their
fire.
teleop auto is amazing. So
The teleup auto?
teleop.
I love their teleop auto.
So good.
Yeah, 3015, dude.
Yeah, that's why when I saw Casey, was it Casey who put them in super low? No, it was Nick. When I saw Nick put them in at 85, I'm like, oh god.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh no. Have I messed up something here? But I remember when we were
I
talking
think
about
you're
top
both on
tens
this different end.
when we were talking about top tens like weeks and months ago, like they were in the conversation. So I'm like, no, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Like it feels pretty reasonable. And then everyone changed their mind and didn't let me know.
Okay,
And so
okay. I
here
see
they
how it
are.
is. I see how it is. All right, next
Like,
one.
I was still high on them.
I got my last spicy one, I think. Last spicy.
Is it more spicy than mine?
Symbiotics at 10. Oh boy.
They were so freaking good.
I think Nick might be spicier still.
I don't know.
Not according to me.
People liked Istanbul
True.
Wildcats.
True.
I respect
1943 had
11-14.
more visibility at
Yeah,
champs
1690
for
at
people who
10.
aren't familiar with either team.
That's spicy as well. 1690 at 10. World
Yeah.
champion captain.
Yep.
Yeah, that's also very spicy.
Oh, I didn't. I'm on the train of like I don't think that alliance was like super top heavy. They just like played smarter than everyone else, and they caught everyone off guard and got fricked for it. So
Okay, Casey
I love
puts
the robot. Don't get me wrong.
6036 ahead of 1706. I'm crying inside.
That's sad.
I think you're actually crying outside, but that's okay.
They were
I
dead
will
for like half
defend
their
that
quals match.
6036 pick. I will not defend the 1706 one.
They
Yeah.
weren't dead in the match that I watched.
I mean, that's an
1636
easy
was
enough
amazing.
defense.
If you ignore their bad matches, they would be like top 3. Like they were so
Yeah,
good.
maybe.
Their cleanup skills were just insane. Pick up, shoot, instant in from anywhere on their like in their wing. Just insane.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, number 9.
All right, this is the last one that I think is going to be truly spicy. And we have already talked about why.
Oh, Gwyneth. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's,
same, Evan. Let's go.
When you don't see them...
I thought I was
Too
ranking
bad.
them higher than most people would, but are we the first people to say
Yeah,
them?
I think so.
All right. I thought they were like insane, and I'm like, I'm not sure anyone else is gonna have them in the top 10. Like, yes, everyone has them in the top 10.
Yeah,
So
apparently.
Actually, I don't have them on my list.
Oh God.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Okay.
I haven't pulled a Nick this time and like forgotten them. It's okay.
For what it's worth, Cotton Brennan, I think you guys have them lower than their EPA rank suggests.
Oh, they're 4th in EPA. Dang. Okay.
It's wild.
Look,
They're not that good, but
they're not.
very, very
They're
good
not.
at passing.
They're just not better than the teams that are above them, and the other teams are just so good. I mean, they're amazing as well. Don't get me wrong. It's just the teams above them. I have a little bit better everything, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Gwinnett, very high.
Yeah.
At their peak,
That's
Even
I'd
at
see
their
them
peak,
as
I wouldn't put them
maybe
that
around
high.
there.
Even at their
I'd see
peak.
I'd see them in the top 20 at their peak, at least.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. Number 8, the 183rd best team in the world according to EPA, Peninsula Robotics.
Damn.
whoa.
Oh yeah, lots of
They-
mechanical advantage now.
Were insane.
Until they were broken for the entire like champs.
They were fixed at the end. If they were
Yeah,
with
they were.
1678 in Alims, they would have won Worlds. With 4206 on that alliance,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
like they were just insane. Honestly, if you ignore the fact that they broke half the time, I could see them being like number 2 on the list. Just the pick up shoot instantly from anyone in their wing. It's just so
Yeah.
insane.
I got the first Mad Town.
Yeah.
You do.
I mean, they were good. I don't think they were the right choice for the 254 pick, but they were still very
I
good
agree.
and did well.
Yeah.
But yeah, still top 10 is crazy. They're obviously
Mm-hmm.
an amazing team.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing. It's like all of these teams in the top 10 are gonna have such fine.
Yeah, I think
like-
we're sort of to mostly
Where we're
the
mostly
chalk picks.
consensus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alrighty,
we ready
number
for sevens?
7. Oh well, there's some Mad Town, and there's an Orbit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
so,
sense.
Orbit was tough for me because they didn't play particularly strong at the primary archetypes that most alliances would
Yeah.
benefit from.
Mhm.
But they made a really good alliance to play a strategy that worked for them. So, like, obviously, very good. But I don't think a single robot in the world was faster than them on average across the field. So
They were
Yeah, that's
very
probably
speedy.
they
true.
definitely got that.
Yeah. Not much to say. Pretty
Yeah.
agreed.
Slightly high on high tide, but not too hard to argue for it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, number 6. Yeah, we got the orbits, got the Jack and the Bots, got the Mad Towns.
Am I the last Madtown holdout?
Yes.
Seems
Yes.
so.
Casey? Oh no, Casey had it.
Casey just had the okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
so
again, orbit,
well,
similar reasons. I just don't think that the way that they play it is like the best way to play this game, and it worked for them on the day because of execution wise. But there's a reason we didn't see 2 and 1 defense on at higher I or Chessy Champs. It's just because it's not the way to play the game.
Oh, yeah, I think people just didn't exactly know how to play against it
Yeah,
yet.
and the execution of it was so strong. Like the problem is if you play 2 and 1 D where the D is not super effective, like you don't have to worry about it. It's just the fact that it was so good. Okay, number 5.
Wow,
And there's
that's
the
high
last
on
spicy
33.
pick.
oh,
That
didn't even realize he hadn't played bees yet.
Bees are so freaking good. They were putting up massive numbers at champs. They got let down by their passers in Alims. They were the number 1 seed. They basically did they go undefeated or were they almost undefeated in quals?
weren't you the
I
one
don't
just talking about how
remember.
gems like looked better and is or like
Yeah, they're
looked bad
undefeated in
because their
quals.
passer wasn't working, and now you're like, ah, well, Bees is
No,
passer.
Gems was the passer.
It
It was
Krypton was the passer.
125 that was cleaning for them.
Oh, right, other lines. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, but 33 was absolutely great. Their passers let them down. If you want to take into Kettering All-Star event, they were dominant at that event as the cleaner as well, had like a very stacked, like pre-made alliances and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think they deserve top 5. They're insanely good.
All right. I mean, very bold.
Yep. I'm looking to see where everyone else had them. Casey and I both had
thought
them
I
at
was, like-
39.
I thought I was like maybe going to be
Yeah,
high, going to the highest on them. I'm at 24.
I was also looking at my notes, and I didn't have any like downsides for them. So I don't.
They
really
just
know why I put them that
reliably were
low,
putting
to be
up
honest.
4 every single time. And they had the nice hang. They have the nice hang that can, like it's like one of the side hang things that leans off the truss, so they can be small profile and get up there with another robot super easily. I just think that that's just a great archetype to be, and they were like just very consistent, amazing, putting up great numbers every single time, and they performed super well. In my opinion, I don't think they really had any issues. Like I said, at champs, it was more their feeders, which was 4414, who had some issues, but they're just great.
Okay. Okay.
Boom.
Oh,
Ooh, a 2056.
Ooh.
A 2056.
That
They were
is,
good. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know. What am I going to say?
honestly, I think all 3 of these top 4 robots, I would not classify as Madtown as a top 4 robot, or Jack in the Bot, but the other ones, they're very close. Different orders make sense.
Yeah, this was. I thought 1, I was pretty confident in. 2 I was pretty confident in, and 3 and 4 I had to just watch a couple matches and count, and it was like one cycle or one shot difference, basically.
Yeah.
I ended up bumping 2910 so high because I think they have a claim at title of best passer. In the
I
world.
I think they are.
I'd say they are. Yeah, they
Yeah.
are best passer in
Yeah,
the world.
and I mean, with that in mind, I feel like a top 4 is reasonable.
I just think
Yeah, it's not
Their
unreasonable.
auto
I
is
just
good
think
as well.
top 4,
for
top 5 even, I thought were top. Really, I thought top 6 were like a tier above the other ones, and
for me,
but
10 didn't have the finishing ability that other teams did, and I think passing is a easier role than cleaning, to be honest.
there's just less
But is it
precision
easier to be
needed.
as good as them?
Yes,
I mean,
I think there are a lot of teams in their range. I mean, not that there were a lot of teams in the same range as like cleaning for these next few teams as well, but and the other teams that are in this tier had better autos in my opinion as well than 2910. So
That's fair.
alrighty, number 3.
lots of circus.
Yep.
Circus.
Ratchet
Yep.
Rockers #1 overall.
I mean, deserved for now.
They are so good. But I mean, Citrus for me is like the only thing is like I'm glad that the
Kinda
over the
biased.
bumper intake worked for them, but like
I mean,
I
they're definitely
wish
breaking that a lot, yeah, but
like yeah, like I wish they hadn't, but at the same time, like it's not like an under the bumper intake would have like made them the
I
best
don't. Yeah,
robot in
I
the
don't.
world. I don't think it would have actually made them any better. It's just maybe they would have had to do a little bit less work in the pit.
They were super good. Honestly, the 2 teams that I had above them are only there because of their autos.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, let's do the final 2 at the end, I guess.
Well, there's a huge. I don't know who #1's gonna be. You can't really tell.
Yeah, you can.
Not enough information.
Are we gonna be
Are we putting
unanimous?
in? Actually surprised Nick has his Temple
Wait, are we?
Wildcats
Oh, we're
#1
not.
overall.
We're not. Nick messed us up. He's the one.
What?
Oh! Yeah, Nick's the only one.
It's just like last time. There's one person that was a holdout for #1 overall.
I originally had 2056 first, and I moved them to second, but like their autos were so good.
Yeah,
Like,
I think 2056 has the best autos of anybody in the world. It's just
yep.
254. They have the trap, which helps a lot with seeding and a
And
little
they
bit of
have the
points.
6036 shoot
Yeah.
instantly make quality that no
And
one
the-
else other than those
And
two
they had
teams
the
have.
double.
I
They had the
honestly-
118 double note
Yeah,
thing as well.
the
I
60
honestly
two members out of
don't-
everything.
Yeah.
I don't even worry about the trap as much because OP for ranking still did very well because they had the human player with the amazing note accuracy.
Yeah.
So often they were getting that RP from that. But
Yeah.
definitely like yeah, the extra features of the 254 was what pushed it for me. But OP's autos are better.
Yeah,
They definitely had the best executed turret aside from maybe 6036. But
the best turret, period.
Yeah. I agree.
yeah, I mean,
You
Look at
have,
what a
I
60
mean,
Yeah,
Six
I
on the
was
so
back
much.
and forth on this, but in the end, the very, very slight edge came down to the smallest of margins because there's a reason why every team that built an off-season robot seemed to build OP this year
True.
because it worked that well.
True.
well, yes, but it's also less complicated.
It's a
So-
little
I
bit
mean,
easier to pick up the
True.
255.
Yeah.
I have seen 254 clones. Don't get me wrong. I saw 254 clones.
Not as
but
many.
it was not as many, and they weren't as good. Because with OP, the thing is, it's a like simple, easy robot to actually design, build, manufacture, etc. And that's where they shine, right? Like OP does not
Yeah.
build complicated things.
Mm-hmm.
And their auto is so good.
Yep. Well, so our combined list is 254, 2056, Citrus 1706, and Jack in the Box is the top
2910.
5.
Yep.
Pretty respectable list, I think, overall. Averaged out
Mm-hmm.
to be pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah. A little bit less spicy than some individual lists,
Yep.
but still
I
generally
think
pretty.
we balance each other out well.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the goal.
Yep.
But no, that was
Taegen did her
fun.
best to get 1 billion TP&W teams into the top 100.
I put in the work. I did what I could. I tried so hard.
Very appreciated.
No problem, no problem. Happy to be of assistance.
Mm-hmm. I think
Sorry, Bumblebee, I completely
someone
tanked your
from
ranking.
every district made the top 100.
No. Do we have?
I think you're
Oh no, we
right.
do
The
have.
overall top 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
I
gonna
think
say,
you're
do we have
right.
North Carolina? But we have Link, so we're
Link.
okay.
Let's
Yeah.
go, Link! Woo!
Link comes in overall at 50th.
Y'all
Super
haters.
Duper at 67 holds Indiana.
Yep.
Yeah. Super
Did anyone
the
else
only
even
Indiana
receive a
team.
vote?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
What do you say?
Super Do is the only Indiana team to even get mentioned. Now South Carolina would not.
They have their
Would
work cut
not-
out for them for 2025.
Yeah.
Count yet. Yeah.
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 Yeah, SC would not have had anyone, and they probably won't have anyone. But
They have some teams that could do well.
Well, you're forgetting Robots Garage is first overall.
oh, that's so true. Sorry, my apologies. I forgot. I feel like I also had a lot of Texas. That's
It is a
I
big
didn't have
district.
that much Texas. I don't think so.
You had a lot of Texas in your 11 to 15.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. That
All
is
of
very
Texas.
true.
Nick Cousins says Brennan is based. Yeah, I got the 33 up here, guys. We have a whole bunch of 33 haters for the rest of
I
us.
wouldn't say I'm a 33 hater. I have them in my top 25.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of respectful, but
The real hater here is Nick, although he's like 3 spots away from me, so it's fine.
yeah, what is this? 41? Jeez.
I
You're wild.
never picked up on Nick having 2200 at 40th. By the way, hadn't noticed that. That's
Yeah, I mean they did well.
they did, but I don't think anyone
Unbelievably
else has
based
remotely
opinion
that
by
high.
Jeff there.
What did
Wait,
Jeff say?
What did he say?
He said, I feel like I agree with Cobb's list the most.
Oh well, he's just wrong.
But maybe it's because we're on the same fantasy team.
Yeah, true. So true. Biased.
Biased for goodness.
Damn.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I didn't have 973 on my list, but they're 88th overall in the
I think
the
everyone else
combined.
did.
Oh, TJ Squared is so close to being 88th overall.
Oh yeah, somebody needs to like bump them up a little bit.
I didn't have them on my list. Let me just add them real quick.
No.
Also, 67's at 62.
That seems low.
So I did forget to have 67. That was one of my forgets to
Yeah,
do.
I forgot Wyndham. Should have put them on the list somewhere, but
There are some people I don't have. Like I didn't put 2231 on my list. And
yeah,
I know both
Yeah,
Brennan.
we didn't really
that's an
talk about
oversight.
them. We didn't really talk about them.
They
but
were very good.
very good. Yeah, exactly. Very
They
strong.
really were they were the top scorer of that alliance. That
Nice
beat
auto.
8 seed and
Nice.
Archimedes,
Just
which
like
also is pretty strong.
Wait,
really good controls.
I'm laughing at myself now.
Oh. Did you
Not
forget?
only did I forget 118 for initially,
Yeah.
I forgot 148.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that's more
That's more
respectable
reasonable.
for
That's
getting
more reasonable.
like. Yeah,
They
you could
probably
have
would
just
have been
not told
around
us and said you
the
didn't have them as top 100, and it would have been fine.
Would have been
75
reasonable.
range.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I had them 63rd.
I
I was 50 something, I think.
I had them 80th, which was definitely on the low side.
had them
I mean,
like 48 or something.
48's too high, I think, but
Well,
they had
too
a
bad.
lot of reliability issues, right? So I don't blame.
I mean,
don't mind them
yeah,
being a
but
bit
like so
lower.
did Peninsula, and you had them like.
Yeah,
Where'd you
Peninsula
put
got
Peninsula?
picked early and
True.
popped off it.
Where
I
do
mean,
you
I
have?
guess
I took my
148 did
glasses
pretty
off.
well
Where'd
in
they
UMs
go?
too.
148 did well in humans, so, but
Yeah,
Not 60-36 well,
Yeah,
though.
that's true.
well,
that's fair.
yeah.
6036 is definitely one of my like, also just like favorite robots in general of the year. So they can have that award. I know it matters to them a lot, so they can have that.
Man, 33 didn't even make top 25 in our overall ranks. Y'all hating on them, bro.
I'll take the L for that one.
It's literally just
I
Brennan
mean, I'm
has them.
not the only one to
Wait, we
take
had
the
no
L.
Fim in top 25 overall.
Wait, what?
No
No.
Fim in the combined.
27,
I don't think
28,
I
and
had
Okay.
29.
him in mind.
Just-
My top 25.
I did my part for gems, is all I can say.
Me too.
Yeah, all three of
I
the
had-
Fim teams, 27, 28, 29.
Yeah, I had two.
27 off by
27
Someone
came
was
27th.
27th.
Let's go!
Let's go.
There, we got one.
Calculated.
We did it. And
Mathematical.
118 is 18th as well.
Well,
Oh yeah, nice.
yeah.
All right, well,
Mhm.
hopefully everybody enjoyed. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I like doing this. We should do it
Mhm.
again next year.
That was fun.
It's a
I
lot
agree.
easier to do this than
Let's try and do it before the weekend before finals week, though. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah. That's a
only.
good plan.
That's what I
Just
want.
have finals, bro, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I've 3 finals on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday. It's gonna be brutal.
Your grad school experience has been incredibly different to mine. Like every time you're talking, you're like, yeah, I got like 8 million hours of homework, and I'm like, damn,
Well, I may be taking
can't believe.
tube classes more than the recommended amount.
Oh, so this is your own doing. I understand now. Because I only
Yeah,
had to take
and
4
one of them-
courses the whole time.
And one of them's I'm taking a PhD level math class that I may or may not have taken the prerequisite for. So that one's tough. So yeah, very busy. But
Fine, this was the break you needed, right?
yeah, the
Obviously.
break, all my free time this week was spent making this list. So that's cool. Yeah, that was fun.
And
I think I didn't forget a top 5 level team this time, so that is a win.
That's true. Good job. Proud of you.
All right. Wait, actually, I had a guess earlier on how many teams got picked or how many teams got nominated. Oh, well, oops, that's not. And my guess was there'd be 200 teams about. How many were there?
I don't know. You want to start counting?
Well, I thought I would be able to just look at something in the spreadsheet and it would tell me, and it didn't. So, actually, I can do.
Could you not just
count
do the
unique.
formula?
Well, yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Can you just expand the missing rows there, or the hidden rows?
I
No,
thought that
it's
would
not.
work, but it didn't.
144.
Okay. Cool.
Wait,
It's actually not that.
My guess is 200, so they're more agglomerated than I expected.
Yeah, I guess I didn't say what I was thinking, but I was thinking somewhere in the 170 range.
All right. Cool. Well,
when I was going
think
through the
I'm like-
list, I figured there's probably about 200 that I would ideally look at. I did not get to look at 200.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. There was a lot of teams that are good at robots. Fun fact.
At least 100 of them.
At least. Maybe more. No one knows for sure.
I'll be interested to look at the regional breakdown and see how many teams, because that's what when I made my own personal list, I did a look at I put in regions and now I can sort by how many I had from each one.
Yeah, it'd
But
be
it's
interesting to
interesting
see
to see
that, or
everyone.
also divisional breakdown.
True. I definitely have way more Curie than probably should, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I also thought I might have
Traumatized from
finished
being
three
defended by Ictan
briefly.
juniors, you know.
Yeah, you're the only one that had Itcan Junior.
I am the only one at Ictan junior.
Itcan was
And then
picked criminally late at Worlds, I think. Weren't they a third round pick?
Ictan proper?
Yeah,
It
we were
can was, yes.
Itcan senior.
Yeah.
That's insane. Why did Alliance 1 and Johnson not pick them? That would have been just insanely stacked.
Because
Yeah, I
people
don't know.
pick garbage at champs.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but
This
I
year
don't
was
know.
actually better than most, to be fair.
That's
But
true.
normally there's some picks that have you going, huh?
Yeah, I mean there always are. There were some this year too, but
I mean, yes, but there are several that come to mind when I think of bad champs picks. And this year, most of them you could at least understand. Even
yep.
if you had to stretch it to get it, you could see it.
All right, why don't we wrap up so the East Coasters can go to sleep?
Yep.
I gotta be up for Abu Dhabi in the morning. Very important.
All right.
Mhm.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and if you're watching on VOD and you for some reason lasted this long about this random chatting, we appreciate you. We will. I don't know. I want to do some more content. More than just the end of year thing. Even though the end of year this thing is fun and we actually have time to do it, but maybe we can do
I would like to, but
It's about
hitting that
finding the
time in during
time.
robotics
It's hard.
season is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to maybe try and do a top 25 throughout the season if possible again.
It's so hard weekly.
It
At least
is.
maybe we could do it maybe we can at least commit to a pre-champs something. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll see. We'll work out what we can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks
Good
everybody.
night.
We will post the list in the VOD at some point. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, have a good night.